Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. The commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with the MLB, the MLBPA, the American League, National League, or their sponsors. We are giving live English reports on the game being played and hope that English-speaking fans around the globe enjoy the games on YouTube and on Twitch along with us. Tonight from Oracle Park in San Francisco, we are going to bring you Game 1 of the four-game set between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants. It is a meeting of these two clubs that are both National League West rivals. The Giants are currently playing right at 500 baseball, where they're a number of games back behind the Dodgers, almost 20 games back of the Dodgers this year. And they are set adrift from San Diego as well. And it'll be interesting here to see what's going to happen in the next 24 hours if they are going to trade their star left-hander Carlos Rodon, who has a opt-out clause at the end of this year, and maybe be able to capitalize on the return for him being dealt to a playoff contender. So, first off, we'll give you the starting lineups. First for the visitors from Los Angeles. Leading off and playing in right field wearing number 50 is Mookie Betts. Batting second and playing shortstop wearing number 6 is Trey Turner. Batting third at first base wearing number 5 is Freddie Freeman. In the cleanup spot and doing the catching, number 16, Will Smith. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting wearing number 18 is Jake Lamb. Hitting sixth at second base wearing number 9 is Gavin Lux. Batting seventh and playing third base wearing number 13 is Max Muncy. Hitting eighth and in center field wearing number 35 is Cody Bellinger. And batting ninth in left field wearing number 77 is James Outman. And they're going to be facing Logan Webb, arguably the ace of the San Francisco staff. Webb on the season is 9-4. He's worked 130 in the third innings. He's allowed 114 hits, 46 runs, 42 of which have been earned. He has walked only 33 and struck out 108. He's pitched to an ERA of 2.91. So that's the lineup for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now the lineup for the home team for the San Francisco Giants. Leading off and playing first base wearing number 33 is Darren Ruff. Batting second in center field wearing number 13 is Austin Slater. Hitting third and doing the designated hitting is number 6, Yermin Mercedes. In the cleanup spot and playing second base wearing number 41 is Wilmer Flores. Batting fifth in left field wearing number 51 is Luis Gonzalez. Batting sixth at third base wearing number 70 is David Villar. Hitting seventh and playing shortstop is number 49, Dixon Machado. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 21, Joey Bart. And batting ninth in right field wearing number 5 is Mike Yastrzemski. And they're going to be facing, fresh off the injured list, it'll be Andrew Heaney. He's made 4 starts this year for the Dodgers. He's got a 1-0 record. He's worked 19 and a third innings. He's allowed 10 hits, 3 runs, only one of which has been earned. He has walked 7 and struck out an impressive 27. He's got an ERA of 0.47. So Heaney versus Webb when we return. Our friend Mick 3Y official is in the house, hopefully for the first of 2 games tonight. We appreciate you for being here, and we'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action here after this from our friend Steve.
Hello, guys. Steve Rademacher coming at you. I'm having my 500 subscriber giveaway if we get there by the end of this year. That's my name and my channel, Steve Rademacher. All you have to do is be publicly subscribed, and then you can enter to win once we hit the magic number, either an unopened, still sealed box of Star Trek official trading cards, Next Generation and Original Series. If that's not your cup of tea, we have Fleer Adrenaline with a Deer Dick rookie card. I have pulled out an autograph from one of these, and there are relics. If that's not your thing, how about an unopened box of 1987 Donruss Baseball? Just come watch me, subscribe, and enjoy the show. Thank you.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and we support your channel as much as Steve supports ours. That is Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out and let him know Last Drops Baseball sent you. Well, it is going to be Logan Webb on the hill. He's just completing his warm-up tosses, and he's going to be facing Mookie Betts, Trey Turner, and Freddie Freeman to get things going here in the top of the first inning. For Betts on the season, he's batting .266. He's got himself 23 homers and 52 runs batted in. He is the fire starter at the top of the order for the Dodgers. Dodgers course, we're still without Chris Taylor, who's on the injured list, as they're a regular left fielder. Cody Bellinger's in center. So Josh Outman gets the opportunity tonight, as Trace Thompson will get the night off against the hard-throwing right-hander Webb. So Webb has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get this one underway. It's what I would call a light crowd for a Monday night in San Francisco, and a little disappointing when you see the Dodgers in town. It is a longtime rival, of course. Yes, the Giants are playing .500 baseball, but when the Dodgers roll into town, you'd figure even on the Monday night they'd have a pretty decent crowd. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses down, and we're underway. It was ball one to Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts batting from the right side against the right-handed throwing Webb, as Webb is ready to deliver. He gets the sign from his catcher, Bart. He rocks into the motion. And there is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As far as the weather is concerned for this one, it is 69 degrees. It's partly cloudy. And here's the offering from Webb. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded hard foul past the first base coach's box. Kicks around, ends up into right field. That's going to run the count to 1-2. The umpires for tonight's game, behind the plate, it's Phil Cousy. Mark Ripperger is the first base umpire. Corey Blazer is holding down the base at second. And in the rocking chair, it is Dan Bellino over at third base. And here comes the offering from Webb. It is a fastball swung on. It is ground softly back up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Machado. He throws to first, and it's in time just to nip Mookie Betts. It's going to go down as a ground out 6-3 for out number 1. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Trey Turner. Machado, who made that play, he was acquired in a trade yesterday from the Cubs organization. Hadn't appeared in a big league game since 2018. He had spent time in the minor leagues with the Cubs, and he was also around with not only the Giants, but he was over in the KBO for a bit, trying to revitalize his career. And here's the first pitch from Webb. It is a fastball taken for a called strike in the outside corner, and the count is 0-1 to Turner. Turner's batting .309. He's got 16 homers and 73 runs batted in. And here's the pitch from Webb. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As we said, it's a light crowd tonight, as there's a lot of empty seats. There's a changeup that has swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Turner. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Turner waggles the bat. He's got a very wide stance. He stands at the back of the box. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded to third. VR fields it. He throws to first. A nice pick. Back-to-back plays by Darren Ruff over at third base. And that is going to retire Trey Turner on a ground out 5-3 for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the first baseman, Freddie Freeman. When I look at the Giants lineup and I stack it up against the Dodgers lineup, it is a very different looking lineup that I would have expected from a couple of years ago. Obviously, with Brandon Crawford being on the injured list, Brandon Belt is not playing in tonight's ball game. He got the start last night. There's a fastball that misses inside for ball 1. You also have Evan Longoria on the injured list. Number of players, Lamont Wade Jr. out of the lineup tonight. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0 to Freddie Freeman. Just the whole entire lineup a little bit different. Joey Bart, yeah, we would expect Bart to be there. Yastrzemski's on the lineup tonight. But certainly guys like Gonzalez and VR and others, we expected them to be there at this point. There's a ground ball hit softly over to the second baseman. It is fielded by Flores. He throws to first, and Freeman is retired on a ground out 4-3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Dodgers in the top half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're through a half inning. It is the Dodgers nothing, and the Giants coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments. Glad you guys can make it in here with us tonight. Here's our friend Dave.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Rams Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate you, Dave. We'll hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in about 45 seconds with the call of the bottom of the first inning. We appreciate you here for being with us. It is 0-0. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the first inning. It'll be the top of the order coming up for the Giants. It'll be Darren Ruff, Austin Slater, and Yermin Mercedes to face the lefty Andrew Heaney. Heaney is making his 5th start of the season for the Dodgers. He's been on the injured list, and he's made his return after a couple of rehab appearances. And so he is going to be getting things underway. Defensively for the Dodgers tonight, from left to right in the outfield, it is James Outman in left field. Cody Bellinger is the center fielder. Mookie Betts is in right. Around the horn from first to third. Freddie Freeman is at first. The second baseman is Gavin Lux. Shortstop is Turner, and the third baseman is Max Muncy. And the first pitch delivered from Heaney is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball one, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Darren Ruff. Heaney back to work. He delivers a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats behind the first base side of home plate, and the count is now even at 1-1. The battery is Heaney and Will Smith for the Dodgers, as that is what they're operating with tonight. And here comes the 1-1 offering as Heaney rocks into the motion. And he kicks and he fires. It is a fastball that just misses inside and backs Ruff off the plate for a count at 2-1. For Ruff on the season, he's hitting .219. He's got 11 homers and 38 runs batted in. He bats from the right side against the left-handed slants of Heaney, who delivers a fastball that swung on and fouled away. That runs the count even at 2-2. Heaney, over the course of his career, originally league level, was with the Miami Marlins organization. A first-round pick of the Marlins out of Oklahoma State University. A fastball that comes inside, and it comes inside so much it's actually hit Darren Ruff, and he is aboard, as he is going to be the runner at first. Last night was a tough night at the office for the Giants. They played the Cubs, and the Cubs plunked them 4 times last night. So Darren Ruff starts off the night tonight by getting plunked. That brings up the center fielder, Austin Slater. Austin Slater is a Jacksonville, Florida native. His grandfather was actually the mayor of Jacksonville from the early part of the 90s. I think it was either from 91 to 95 or 1990 to 95. Interesting note about him is he's Jacksonville born and bred. And here comes the first offering from Heaney. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count is 0-1. Slater is hitting .290 on the season. He's got 5 homers and 24 runs batted in. He had a stellar month of July. He hit .360 in the month. So here comes the 0-1 offering as Heaney holds at the chest, and he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and now the count quickly is 0-2. We're talking a little bit about Andrew Heaney, and Heaney was with the Angels for quite a few seasons. In fact, 7 to be exact, and then he was the Yankees for a little bit last year and made his way to the Dodgers this year. Andrew Heaney, in my opinion, if he can stay healthy, can really help the Dodgers down the stretch. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and Slater has gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Yermin Mercedes. I mean, I really like Heaney's stuff from the left side. You watch him pitch, and he's able to have some pretty decent control. He works both sides of the plate. He keeps the ball down. He has some pretty decent tilt on the pitch, as is exhibited by the last pitch to Austin Slater. So Mercedes steps up to the plate. He's hitting 273 on the year. He's got a homer and 8 RBIs. Gets the start tight against the lefty, and the first pitch is a 95-mile-an-hour fastball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. Mercedes, of course, announced his presence in a big way when he got to the big leagues with the Chicago White Sox. And here comes the offering from Heaney as he kicks and delivers as a fastball that just misses inside. The count is 1-1. Got a lot of home runs early in his career with the White Sox, but didn't really see all eye to eye with Tony La Russa. And if you don't do that, or you don't see eye to eye with the skipper there, you don't usually last very long. There's a fastball swung on. It's fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over behind the first base dugout. The count is 1-2. Went down to AAA, and then there was to the point where he was going to quit. Just going to pack it right in and not going to play anymore. Not going to report, not going to play for anybody. He was talked out of that, and he's back in the big leagues, and San Francisco has given him a home. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There is a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Erminator. Mercedes is a pretty big fella. They list him at 5'11" and 245 pounds. I'm not sure the accuracy of either of those numbers. I think it's a little light in the height department and maybe a little light in the weight department. Here's the 1-2 offering, and there's a breaking ball swung on it, is lifted into right field. Battling the sun is Mookie Betts, and he's going to make the catch. That's going to retire Mercedes for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Wilmer Flores. Right now, where the sun is positioned, it is difficult for the outfielders. The pitcher, the catcher, the infielders are all in the shade. Left field is in the shade. It's really the center fielder and the right fielder right now that are standing in the sunlight. So any a ball that gets elevated or a fly ball into right or left field, it could be a challenge for the outfielders. Have to pick it up out of the shade and then pick it up again when it enters into the sunlight. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined to left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Outman takes it on one hop, and Flores is aboard with a single, and that's going to put runners at first and second. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Luis Gonzalez. For Gonzalez, he's hitting 280 on the season. He's got 4 homers and 29 RBIs. He gets the start in left field. He began the game last night against the Cubs with a spectacular catch off the leadoff hitter, Christopher Morel, to bring back a home run to start the ball game. It was the first batter of the game, and the Cubs never sniffed a run after that from that point on, as they were shut out 4-0. So Gonzalez with that spectacular play, and he's been doing it with the bat as well. So here comes the first offering from Heaney. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Gonzalez getting an opportunity to play pretty much every day right now for the Giants. He is from Hermosillo, Mexico. He's also a former White Sox. He squares the bunt, and he drops it down the third base side. It's not bad. As they throw to first, he's beaten it out. And Freddie Freeman is pointing that he wants to have another look at this. He doesn't necessarily believe it. It was a push bunt down the third base line, not a sacrifice, obviously, with there being a couple away. And he was able to get down the line pretty good. The Dodger brass is on the phone. We're going to get the replay here. And I think we're going to have to go under the hood on this one. Let's see what the Dodgers have to say. We got a different angle of it. Now, the different angle looks like it was maybe a safe call on that one. So this is going to be a tough call. I think maybe the call is going to stand, but we're going to go under the hood here, and we're going to see what Mark Ripperger has to say, who's the first base umpire, as they challenge the call here. And in this type of situation, because the play is just so close, to me it looks like Gonzalez is able to beat it out. As soon as they have to go under the hood on something this close, and it takes too much, it just takes too much time. Just award the call for what it is on the bases. Hobbyist is in the house. Chris is here. He says, let's go Lux and Freeman. If anybody's interested and wants to buy a Gavin Lux Independence Day card, the hobbyist is your guy. Not sure what the price is going to be at, if the price is right. It's something that he pulled, and Gavin Lux is playing some good baseball right now for the Dodgers. So that is where we stand. So here comes the call, and the call has been withheld or been underscored, and it is correct. It's been upheld as the call is safe. Gonzalez has got himself a single. That's going to load the bases for the Giants here with 2 away, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, David Villar. So the runner at third is Ruff, the runner at second, Flores, and Gonzalez with the bunt single fills the bases. That's the 21st bunt hit this year for the Giants. That is the most in Major League Baseball. I saw a stat recently. I believe that Brandon Belt has almost 10 of those. There's a first pitch fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0 to Villar. Villar batting only 179 on the season. He's got a homer and 5 RBIs. He's been playing third base in the absence of Evan Longoria. And here comes the offering. There is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. Our friend, the hobbyist, says he's got to run. The robot has cut everything off. He's got to go. That's what happens when you have children running around. You have the robot has to take care of and cut out the listening time. There is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Villar. Here comes the offering from the lefty Heaney. That is going to be a fastball that catches the inside corner. Now the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Heaney trying to wiggle himself out of this jam. Gets the sign from his catcher Smith, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and I've got that at 3-2, but it looks like we may have missed a call in there. That's going to be ball 4, as Villar is going to get himself a base on balls. It must have been one of the fastballs, one of the pitches that they didn't call for a strike, but I had it at 2-2. I always don't trust the other stuff, but that's ball 4 to Villar. He's going to walk and drive in a run. It's going to advance Gonzalez to second. Flores moves to third, and it cashes Darren Runfin for the first run of the inning. That is going to bring up the shortstop, Dixon Machado. So here comes the first offering to Machado. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up. And this ball is going to drift over, and it's going to reach the dugout of the Dodgers and then bounce up into the seats. So that's going to be strike 1 to Machado. Machado had his first big league at-bats last night in almost 4 years. He was 1 for 3 in the ball game. Friend Demon Slayer in the house says, come on, throw a strike. He's batting 179. Absolutely. Can't defend walks. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1. Demon Slayer in the house tonight. Hopefully he's going to be joining us a little bit later for the Japanese late night stuff. He is one of our supporters. There's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count is now 2-1 to Machado. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Machado had a single in 3 trips yesterday. He was also, I believe he was hit by a pitch off the top of my head when watching that game. There seemed to be a lot of guys hit last night. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner. Now the count runs to 2-2 on Machado. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. He waggles the bat, batting on the right side against the left-hander Heaney, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up. It's on the first base side. Moving over is Freeman, but he's not going to have the room. It's going to fall into the dugout again. It's going to keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Machado. Joey Bart waits his turn on deck should Machado find a way on. I'm just thinking about that bunt that Gonzalez laid down that Max Muncy had to come in on. Muncy getting the nod at third base tonight. Doesn't necessarily run and move particularly well, does Muncy. There's a fastball swung on. Another ball popped up. This is behind second. But the center fielder has called off the second baseman, Gavin Lux, and he's going to make the catch. It's Bellinger. That is going to do it here in the first inning for the Giants. Well, the Giants get on the board first. They had a run in the inning on 2 hits. There were no errors, and there were 3 left aboard. We're now through 1 complete. It is the Giants 1, the Dodgers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you all for being here for some Major League Baseball action. We'll be back after this from our friend Steve.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. We'll be back in just about 30 seconds with the call at the top of the second inning. Hang tight, everybody. Glad you're with us. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order coming up for the Dodgers. That means Will Smith, Jake Lamb, and Gavin Lux. So 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order. And here comes the first offering from Logan Webb. It is a fastball that just misses off the outside corner for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. 11 pitches in the first inning for Webb. Our friend Demon Slayer says he put a chunk of money down on the under 6.5 runs in the Cebu Lions Oryx game tonight. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. It is. I can't remember who's going for the Lions, but I saw Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going to be taking to the hill for the Buffaloes tonight. I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to make out. I saw him pitch about 3 weeks ago as a fastball misses outside, and the count is now 3-0 to Will Smith. And the one thing that I noticed was it looked like his velocity was down on his fastball, so I'm curious to see how he comes out tonight and throws. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1. Friend Demon Slayer says he took the Mets and the Dodgers in Major League action. If I'm not mistaken, it was Max Scherzer on the mound tonight, and tomorrow night it's going to be Jacob deGrom. And there's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second. Diving to his left is Flores. He gets up and he throws to first, and that is going to get Will Smith on a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. That's something that bothers me with the players when they run through the base and they want to give the safe sign. And I just look at it here as the ball was in the glove, I believe, in time before Will Smith was safe. I don't think they're going to have to challenge this one. Flores got up to his feet and he had to hurry to make the throw. Hustling down the line really was Smith. But it looks like they nipped him and they're not going to challenge that one. And there's a first pitch fastball that's taken for a called strike to Jake Lamb, and the count is 0-1. Lamb's batting .238 on the year. He's got a couple of homers and 4 RBIs. Batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Webb, and there's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count's 1-1. Defensively tonight for the Giants, from left to right, they've got Luis Gonzalez in left. The center fielder is Austin Slater. The right fielder is Mike Yastrzemski. From first to third, it is Darren Ruff at first, Wilmer Flores at second, Dixon Machado is the shortstop, and David Villar is at third. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of Yastrzemski, and Lamb is aboard with a single. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Gavin Lux. The battery is, of course, Logan Webb and Joey Bart. Now we've got T.O. Donald in the house here who says, single for Jake Lamb. Yes, it is. So Lamb's aboard with a single, and that's going to bring up Gavin Lux to the plate. Lux is batting on the season .299 with 4 homers and 30 RBIs. And Webb kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Gavin Lux. There were rumors that Lux might be included in the package for Juan Soto if they're able to pull the trade off. I don't know if that would be a good decision or not. It looks like he's finally starting to settle in L.A. As there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1. There's no balls and 2 strikes. Thinking if Soto ended up becoming a Dodger, how that outfield would play out, one would have to think that they would move Bellinger to left, but put Mookie Betts in center and have the right field held down by Juan Soto. And here comes the 0-2 offering. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left center field. Racing back just in front of the warning track is Gonzalez. He makes the catch. It's going to retire Lux for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up the third baseman, Max Muncy. But again, just being speculative of how they would move that around. Of course, Chris Taylor has infield experience. He came up with the Mariners as a shortstop. So he would easily slot back into the infield there with Trey Turner. And, of course, Max Muncy plays quite a bit of second base. Unfortunately for Muncy, his bat's not been working as well lately. But it still gives manager Dave Roberts a lot of flexibility if they did end up moving Lux as part of that deal. And here's the first pitch. It is a breaking ball down, and it scoots away from Bart. And making his way down to second base is Jake Lamb. That's going to go down as a wild pitch. So Lamb is over to second base, and that's going to bring, it's got 1 ball and no strikes to Muncy. Our friend Mick says the Dodgers by 1.5. As they show the wind, it's 13 miles an hour, and how it swirls in San Francisco. There's no way in which you can read the wind. So many different ways. It just constantly moves. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. I'd be curious to know if the Giant defense has ever ranked first in defense over the somewhere in the last 40 years. I know they've had a really good infield at times. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and tapped. Foul over on the first base side. That runs the count to 2-1 on Muncy. Of course, when they were busy winning the World Series with Sandoval at third, and they had, of course, Brandon Crawford still at shortstop, and second base for a while. They had Joe Panik, and of course, Belt was playing first. You have to make you wonder if they had, where the opportunities were in San Francisco, if they were one of the better defensive teams. But as we say, with all that wind that blows around and wreaks havoc on the fly balls, would they ever be number 1 in all the MLB? There's a fastball swung on, and it is fouled away down the third base line, and the count is now 2-2 to Muncy. Muncy's really struggled this year, hitting that 161. And we mentioned last year he was really playing well up until about August, and then he got himself hurt. And then he was out for the rest of the campaign last year in the 2021 year. And next thing you know is he's really not recovered. I think it was a wrist injury or a forearm, something to do with that. There's the breaking ball delivered. This ball is hit to deep center field. Racing back on it is the center fielder Slater. He leaps, and he can't make the grab. It just squeaks over the fence. And that is going to be a 2-run shot for Max Muncy, and that has flipped the scoreline around, and that has put the Dodgers ahead 2-1 here in the top of the second inning. So here I just get finished saying about how it's been a bit of a struggle for Max Muncy, and he must have had the words in his ears, and he turned on that pitch and took it to straightaway center field just below the batter's eye, out of the reach of the center fielder Slater, and it is now a 2-1 lead for the Los Angeles Dodgers. As we got the replay of it, you could see it epitomizes a wall scraper if there ever was one. kind of like last night when Luis Gonzalez took the home run away from the leadoff hitter Christopher Morel. Well, Slater had that same opportunity. He just couldn't get up high enough. So that brings up Cody Bellinger to the plate. And the first pitch to Bellinger is a fastball that misses down for ball one. The count is 1-0. Bellinger hitting .207 with 13 homers and 39 runs batted in. Our friend Demon Slayer says that Crawford's out for 7 days. There's a fastball that misses down and away. And they picked up Dixon Machado. Dixon Machado, the former Detroit Tiger, and he was also a Cub and others. And he played over in the KBO for a bit, and he was acquired in a trade yesterday from the Cubs. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. He hadn't appeared with the Cubs at the big league level, as he was there playing in AAA in Iowa. Here comes the 2-1 offering. It is a fastball that just misses outside, and the count now runs to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Bellinger. Waiting on deck is the left fielder, James Outman. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted to deep left field. Moving back on the warning track and making the grab is Gonzalez right in front of the 354 number. And Bellinger is gone for the third out of the inning, but there was damage done as the Dodgers have taken the lead with 2 runs on the 2-run homer by Max Muncy. There were 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 1.5. It is the Dodgers 2, the Giants 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the bottom of the second inning in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys could jump in here and check it out with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. It's 2-1 Dodgers, everybody. We're going to the bottom of the second. We'll be back in 45 seconds with the call. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the second inning, and it's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters slated to come to bat for the San Francisco Giants. That means Joey Bart, Mike Yastrzemski, and Darren Ruff to get things going. The Giants jumped out ahead in the bottom of the first inning after they loaded the bases, and a bases-loaded walk brought in by David Villar brought in the first run of the ball game. And the Dodgers responded in the top half of the second with a 2-run shot off the bat of Max Muncy, and that's where we stand with a 2-1 Dodger lead. And here's the first pitch from Heaney. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. We will be back on for these same 2 teams tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. We're going to call this entire series, so hopefully you can be around to join us as well. Here comes the 0-1 offering to Bart as Heaney kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. It was 27 pitches in the first inning for Heaney. Had a bit of a challenge after he had got Yermin Mercedes to fly out. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded over to first. Freddie Freeman fields it. He throws over to Heaney covering, and that is going to retire Joey Bart on a ground out 3-1. The shift was on for Bart, and the first baseman Freeman was playing well into the 4-hole, and he still had to go to his right, able to field that ball, and now Bart has been retired. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Mike Yastrzemski. For Yastrzemski, he is batting .227. He's got 9 homers to go with 38 runs batted in. Our friend Mick says once the Dodgers get in that rhythm, it's hard to stop them. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Dodgers have been very consistent. I was looking at their record, and basically there's 61 games they have left in the season, including tonight. If they basically play 500 ball, they'll win 99 games. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2 to Yastrzemski. As we pause for Heaney, as the defense is, not only do they shift, but then they also adjust their shifts. So here comes the 0-2 offering. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 0-2. I wonder what's going to happen to Dave Roberts next year. How he's going to change his managing when he can't get his computer notes out to see where they're going to shift guys. And there's a breaking ball that misses down and away to Yastrzemski, and the count is now 1-2. I think about that in particular when you look at a guy like, or you look at certain teams, how they play. We often hear about how the shift is in a positive way, helps the defense. But we've seen in the last couple of nights, especially last night, how the shift will not help them in a positive way. It'll adversely affect them, and as a matter of fact. Chicago Cubs had that last night a couple times as there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Yastrzemski. Heaney gets the sign from Smith, and he rocks into the motion. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, Dan Bellino. He says he didn't go. He evens the count now to 2-2 on Yastrzemski. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. I wonder exactly what time that it really starts to get chilly and cold in San Francisco. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-2 to Yastrzemski. And I say that because when you go to games in Seattle, and it's pretty close that they're right on the ocean, it's almost in the months of April and May, it's almost like 2 different games. You're good until about 9 o'clock, and then after 9 o'clock at night, you really got to start to bundle up in Seattle. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 3-2 to Yastrzemski. This is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat delivered here to the left-handed hitting right fielder. He gets himself dug in, and now he's waiting on the offering from Heaney. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and Yastrzemski's earned himself a 1-out walk. So pretty competitive at-bat there by the right fielder for San Francisco, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Darren Ruff. So you see how the people do come to the games in San Fran, and they're bundled up. They got their hoodies on, and they're right on top of the water. You go about over the right field stands, and you'll be in the drink. And so here comes the offering now to Darren Ruff, who was hit by a pitch and scored the San Francisco so far tonight. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Demon Slayer says, as a native San Franciscan, it gets cold when the fog rolls in, usually right before dark. I can't comment. I've not experienced fog until I've moved up here into the Pacific Northwest, and of course, there's a fastball delivered and taken for a called strike. In Seattle, that area, they get some fog, but certainly in Vancouver, the time of the year where we get our fog that rolls in is typically January. January for about, there's a 3-4 week window that it just seems to every morning like clockwork, and it'll come in at night. And so certainly where I live on the mountain, you can go up a few blocks and you can look and you can't even see the city of Vancouver. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Ruff is retired for the second out of the inning. That's 2 away, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Austin Slater. So it's kind of neat because right over top of the inlet, you can see it's all thick fog, and you can sometimes maybe just see the tips of the buildings. And it's kind of a cool piece, as you can see that. Of course, you're above the sunlight. That's kind of neat. Our friend Demon Slayer says it's foggy year-round in San Fran unless it's very warm. So here's the first offering to the right-handed hitting Slater, but instead he flips it to first and easily getting back is Yastrzemski. So Max Muncy getting some direction on where they want him to stand at third base. With 2 gone here, here comes the offering now to Slater. And that is the fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-1 to Slater. Slater struck out his first time up. As we said, he had a .360 batting average in the month of July. It really helped out his overall numbers. I would have to expect he's not going anywhere. One of the players in the Giant outfield. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. As Heaney delivers, it's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 1-1. Curious to see what type of moves, if any, either of these two teams make. Especially the Carlos Rodon piece for the Giants. Will he be dealt or will he be kept? Here comes the 1-1 offering to Slater. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. Moving over on it is Bellinger. He makes the catch on the run, and that is going to do it here for the Giants in their half of the inning. So they got no runs. There were no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 2 complete. It is the Dodgers 2, the Giants 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the top of the 3rd inning. We're glad you're with us tonight. It's a beautiful night for baseball in San Francisco.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be James Outman coming to the plate. He made his Major League debut the other day, going 3 for 4 with a double, a home run, and 3 RBIs. And this is his second big league game. He was playing in Triple A in Oklahoma City. He also spent quite a bit of time in Tulsa this year in Double A. So he is coming to bat here. And the first pitch from Webb is a fastball swung. It is grounded in the left field for a base hit. And Outman keeps his hunt play alive since coming to the big leagues. And boy, his game is pretty easy for him. He's got himself a leadoff single. So Outman is aboard, and that's going to bring up the top of the order and Mookie Betts. I was thinking about Outman in particular, and played his college ball at Sacramento State. And he was drafted by the Dodgers. Sorry, he was Cal State University, Sacramento. And that was where he had played his college ball. It was a Redwood City, California native. There's a breaking ball delivered to Mookie Betts. This ball is belted to deep left field. The ball is going to get over the head and down past Gonzalez. Fields it off the wall. He fires it back in, and Mookie Betts is going to be standing on second with a double. Outman has gone all the way around to third. And so 2 pitches in the inning, and both balls have been hit hard by the Dodgers. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Trey Turner. I can hardly get my notes down. And 2 quick swings and 2 quick hits. I'm still thinking about Outman in particular. The only player that I can remember that had a similar name was Josh Outman. was a pitcher with the Oakland Athletics, but there was no relation between these two. So they got runners at second and third, and Trey Turner stepping to the plate. Turner is currently third in the National League in runs batted in. So he hits from the side of the defense for the Giants. Everybody is pretty much in. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that is swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side. I say pretty much in because they're not all right up on the grass. They're about a few steps, maybe more even with the baselines. Giving themselves a little bit of space here. So Trey Turner at the plate, and he takes a breaking ball down, and the count goes to 1-1. They have not skipped the beat, the Dodgers, with Turner at shortstop over their former shortstop Corey Seager. Our friend Demon Slayer says that he's glad he doesn't live in San Fran anymore. He says the city is horrible. He says, we'll save politics for another stream, and there's a breaking ball that misses outside. They appeal down to the first base umpire, Mark Ripperger, and he says he didn't go. The count is now 2-1. Mick says he watched his debut in Denver. The second pitch he took for a home run. I heard the Rockies were wearing those city scene or whatever they call those uniforms. There was a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-1. City Connect, I think it is, uniforms. I saw the Astros were wearing them tonight. Astros kind of reminded me, I don't know, sort of the Cubs uniforms, those Wrigleyville unis that they're wearing. Except, of course, they're orange, are the Astros. And there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2 to Turner. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The runner at second is Betts. The runner at third is Outman. Webb leans in against the sign from his catcher, Bart. And now he comes set. He checks the runners, and now he delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Gonzalez makes the catch. Tagging at third is Outman. The throw is going to come into third. He is going to score. They're going to hold Mookie Betts at second. So Outman is going to cash in. That's going to be a sacrifice fly for Turner. He's going to add to his RBI total. That's going to be number 74 on the season. He's gone for out number 1, and that's going to bring up Freddie Freeman. So Betts stays at second base as that throw came into third. So Freeman steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to second his first time up. Got a chance to cash in yet another one. It's a 3-1 ball game now here for the Dodgers. Webb checks Betts at second, and now he delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Freddie Freeman. Freeman batting from the left side against the right-handed slants of Webb. He waggles the bat. Now Webb comes set. He checks Betts again. He kicks and he delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. As I said earlier, there was a trade that the Dodgers made yesterday. It was Zach McKinstry was shipped to the Cubs, and in return, they got a pitcher in Chris Martin, a reliever to help bolster their bullpen. Now Logan Webb does an inside move to second base, and that chases back Mookie Betts. I don't know if the Dodgers are done. I don't know if they'll do a major deal unless it had to do with Juan Soto, but I could see them bringing another arm in. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As he kick and delivers, it is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded through the shift into left field, and Betts is going to come around to score the 4th run of the game for the Dodgers. It's going to be a single and an RBI for Freeman. It is now a 4-1 lead for the Dodgers here in the 3rd inning. It'll bring up the catcher, Will Smith. So our friend, I don't know if it was Mick or if it was Demon Slayer earlier, were saying that Logan Webb has not had his best stuff lately. And whatever it is right now, the Dodgers are on it. That is 4-1. That's going to bring out Homer Bailey out to the mound as he's going to have a word with his pitcher. I don't know if guys are in this one. I know certainly the Japanese games, people like to bet the over-under through the first 5 innings. I don't know what the over-under on this one would have been, but it's already 5 runs through 3 innings. I don't know if I would have expected that. I would have thought it would have been a low number for this affair with these 2 starters on the mound. So Bailey's conference is over, and Will Smith is coming to the bat. Smith grounded out to the second baseman his first time. It was a very close play as Flores had to range into the shallow outfield grass to make the play. He was able to nip Smith by a half a step. Here's the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses outside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Webb is already up to 44 pitches now. Waiting on the offering here from Logan Webb. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field. And it's over the head of Gonzalez. He braces himself off of the wall. He picks it up. Digging around third and heading home is Freddie Freeman. And Will Smith has got himself a double, and that's going to increase the lead to 5-1 for the Dodgers. Oh boy, San Francisco, you got your work cut out for you tonight. The Dodgers are putting it to them right now here in the early goings. So Smith is now at second with 1 away. That's going to bring the designated hitter Jake Lamb to the plate. Lamb tonight is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up and later came around and scored a run. It was just it may have just hit the pinky finger of the glove on Gonzalez as he was reaching back to try to make that grab. But he had to race back, and then he had to brace himself with the wall. The first pitch delivered to Lamb is down for a ball 1. Lamb with that slightly open stance, hitting from the left side. He certainly rejuvenating himself in Los Angeles as he takes a fastball for a called strike. The count's 1-1. He's raised his average up to 250 now. As I said before, I've said it a few times, I really liked the way Lamb played when he was in Arizona with the Diamondbacks. It's going back about 5-6 years ago now. A breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is 1-2. If you would have asked me, I would have thought that infield would have been there for a long time. It was Drury, I believe, but Drury, Owings were the keystone players, and on the corners were Goldschmidt and Lamb. Of course, none of those guys, I believe, are there anymore. Nick Ahmed was knocking on the door to get there. There's the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that's outside, but the home plate umpire, Phil Cousy, goes up with the right hand saying that Lamb had went around. He's out on strikes for out number 2, and that is going to bring up the second baseman, Gavin Lux. So Lux, tonight 0 for 1. He flew out to deep left field his first time up. A lot of action for the left fielder, Luis Gonzalez, both in terms of catches where he's made 3, and also on balls that have been spanked over his head. So here's the first offering to Lux. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Gavin Lux, another player who really since the beginning of June was on an absolute tear. He's cooled off a little bit as of late, but he's still been very productive. And here comes the 1-strike pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As I mentioned before, I'm thinking of guys that maybe the Dodgers would probably want to flip around. I don't see anybody off the active roster, maybe outside of Lux, that would be traded at the deadline. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 2-1. And even he would be a bit of a surprise. I don't think they would move. Well, they definitely wouldn't move Will Smith, but I don't think they would part with Austin Barnes in any way. Catchers are pretty much secure. I'm curious to see if they would bring in another bat. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count goes to 2-2. But I can see them bringing him in another arm. And as we said, if they made a big splash, it would be for Juan Soto. But if they can't get the Juan Soto trade done, I wonder what other bat they would want to try to bring in. Then they would probably look to pick up an outfield bat. So here's the 2-2 offering. As Webb kicks and delivers, it is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Lux is gone on strikes for the third out of the inning, but there was damage done and lots more of it. They got 3 runs in the inning, did the Dodgers. They did that on the benefit of 4 hits. There were no errors, and there was a runner stranded aboard. We are now going to the bottom of the third inning. It is the Dodgers 5, the Giants 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the third inning when we return. Appreciate y'all for being here. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher again. He's been in the channel here tonight, lurking around, not saying a whole lot. We welcome Steve as always.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of the channel, and in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back here in just a couple moments with all the action here after this. Appreciate you all for listening in. Here is a few tunes to keep you entertained. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the batting order coming up for the Giants. That means Yermin Mercedes, Wilmer Flores, and Luis Gonzalez. They face the left-hander Andrew Heaney, who kicks and delivers a fastball that's taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Mercedes tonight is 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his first time up. Average is a dip to 268 on the year. And here's the offering from Heaney. It is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. And the count goes now to 0-2. Look at the Giants lineup, and if they're going to be sellers, you have to think about who they would probably jettison off of this roster. And there's a fastball that is swung on. It was a jam job. It's going to get over the head of the second baseman, Lux. It's going to get into right field. And Mercedes has got himself a leadoff single here in the third inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Wilmer Flores. Well, there's 2 pieces to it. Who do they have to trade? I'm sure they would love to trade a number of pieces that are in this lineup tonight. But the other pieces is what can you get for him and what are the needs around the league? And so as Wilmer Flores steps to the plate, as he is 1 for 1 tonight, he is a trade candidate. He's having himself a nice year. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's driven into the netting down the left field line for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Flores has got himself 15 homers and 55 RBIs on the year. Arguably one of his better seasons after leaving his time with the Mets. But is there a market for a second baseman out there? And I don't think that there really is. I know he has played some shortstop in the past. I don't know if that is his best deal right now. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted foul. It's going to be hooked into the mid-level deck down the left field line, and the count now is 0 balls and 2 strikes to Flores. I say that he would be one. Another one that would be Darren Ruff if you needed a bat, but I don't really know if Darren Ruff is somebody that you would possibly bring in unless you want a veteran presence in your clubhouse. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now is 1-2 to Flores. I don't think Austin Slater's going anywhere. Mercedes, I'm not sure what you could get for a Yermin Mercedes. As bat will travel. Luis Gonzalez, I don't see that he's going anywhere right now. So Slater and Gonzalez probably pretty safe. David Villar probably pretty safe. even though he's not producing much numbers-wise. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball. Take it for a called third strike. Flores stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Luis Gonzalez. I don't think there's any value in Dixon Machado. They basically got him for next to nothing in the trade. Joey Bart, of course, Joey Bart would be somebody that has value, but I don't see him going anywhere with the Giants. They got him, and they got a couple other catching prospects like Patrick Bailey on the way. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Gonzalez. Mike Yastrzemski, I'm sure that they probably would entertain trade stuff for him, but what can you get on a return on Yastrzemski these days? He's hitting 227. He's one of his weaker years in the big leagues this year. So here's the 1-0 offering. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. Maybe the Red Sox will offer you something for him. Maybe he finishes his career in Boston, where his grandfather had played all those years. But again, what kind of return can you get on Mike Yastrzemski? I'm not sure. So 2 balls and no strikes. And he holds at the chest. He checks the runner at first. And now he delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up. Foul behind home plate. That's going to run the count to 2-1 on Gonzalez. So when you think about some of the players and you think about some of the stuff that, or availability that could be out there, you start running out of possible stuff. Our friend Dylan Hoffman in the house, he says, guys, I need a KBO pick or a Japanese pick. He goes, I think I'm thinking Landers and Buffaloes. Well, I can't help you on the KBO stuff. I know that Demon Slayer and Mick, who are in here, may be able to help you. There's a fastball swung on. It's lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of Outman. Stopping at second is the runner Mercedes. It's going to be a base hit there for Gonzalez. That's going to bring up the third baseman, David Villar. I know that our friend Demon Slayer earlier said that he's warm on the Buffaloes because they're bringing Yoshinobu Yamamoto, arguably their ace, to the hill tonight. There's 2 good pitchers going on in that game. We are going to call that game, Dylan, so if you're popping in at 2 a.m. Pacific, we'll be there. I would say that the problem I have, as I mentioned earlier, I saw Yamamoto go a couple of starts ago and his velocity was down, so I'm curious to see how he pitches tonight. So here comes the first offering from the lefty Heaney. He delivers a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. We're going to be doing the Japanese games all this week. We're going to be doing double headers. We'll be doing the Giants and the Dodgers early, and we'll get up and do the other one late. So hopefully you guys can join us for all the action this week. So Demon Slayer is giving you his thoughts. And there's a breaking ball that's down, but waved at by VR, and the count now goes to 0-2. So I saw Oryx play on the weekend, and they seem to be playing some better baseball lately. I came on, what was it, the game we saw when the Hawks were playing the Hawks and the Lions this weekend, when the Hawks ran themselves out of a couple innings. Oh, boy. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and VR has gone down on strikes as Heaney crawled the ladder, and that is going to be the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Dixon Machado. Speaking of Korean players or Korean KBO players, Machado had spent some time over in the KBO. I was talking about it last night. I saw Machado take batting practice with the Tigers one year. I can't say that I've been a connoisseur of batting practices. I've only been a few times. He squares the bunt. He wanted to try to drag one for a base hit, and he ends up taking a breaking ball for a strike. At the count is 0-1. There are 2 players that stand out for me that I've seen take batting practice in pregame. Machado is one. The other one is Josh Reddick, who was with the Oakland A's at the time. And they had some of the worst rounds of batting practice I've ever witnessed. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and that's going to reach the seats. Reddick was swing and miss in his particular round. Of course, these are big league guys, and so you take note of this because it's not something every day that you necessarily watch. But the Dixon Machado, I don't know if he had a round where a ball left the cage. He was pop-up central his entire round. So here comes the 0-2 pitch, and there's a breaking ball that is taken for a called third strike. Machado stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 3, and that is going to do it here for the Giants in their half of the third inning. Well, they squander a couple of base hits. Heaney strikes out the side around the 2 singles. There was no runs. There were 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 3 complete innings. It is the Dodgers 5, the Giants 1. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. Glad you're with us.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming up to bat for the Dodgers. It'll be Max Muncy, Cody Bellinger, and James Outman. That's the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the batting order. And the first pitch is a breaking ball delivered from Logan Webb that's swung at and fouled away. And the count is 0-1 to Muncy. Muncy batting 164 on the year. He had that 2-run homer back in the second inning. He's got 10 homers on the year with 34 runs driven in. There's a breaking ball that just misses down, and the count is now 1-1 to Muncy. So we've got our friend Dylan looking for some luck here from everybody else that's there. There's a breaking ball that's down, and the third base umpire says he didn't go. And that would be Dan Bellino. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Muncy. There's Webb into the motion. He delivers a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-1. 54 pitches for Webb through the first 3 innings. He has fallen behind the count 3-1 on Muncy. And here comes the offering. It is a fastball that just misses low, and that's going to be ball 4. Webb, you can tell his body language. He's not getting the calls here, but I have to say, I kind of agree with the home plate umpire, Phil Cousy. He's just missed a little bit. Just looking at the lines there. And Mick says he was mad when they got creamed a few games ago after the KBO All-Star game. They probably spent a few extra nights of drinking out in the town of Seoul or Busan, wherever the game was played. The first pitch fastball that misses inside for a ball. The count is 1-0 to Bellinger. So 1 ball and no strikes. Bellinger waggling the bat. Digs himself back in, rating on the offering from Webb, who checks the runner over at first. And here's the pitch. It has a breaking ball that just misses down, and the count is now 2-0. Also say this, I don't know if Joey Bart necessarily does a great job receiving the ball. I know there was a lot of talk about his defensive prowess. I'm watching some of the way that he received some of these pitches. I'm not a huge fan of how he's moving all that glove around right now. There was a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second. They throw over to the shortstop covering 2 for 1. Back to first. It's a double play. Bellinger has grounded into the 4-6-3 variety. He has gone for out number 2 and erases Muncy, so it's going to help alleviate the pressure, and that's going to bring up the hot-hitting James Outman. So for Outman, having himself a great career this week. He was 3 for 4 yesterday, and with a home run and 3 RBIs, and today he singled and scored a run his first time up. So Outman was able to punch a ball through the shift his last time, and there's a first pitch that's a breaking ball that's come in and hit him. And Outman is going to be aboard as he's been hit by a pitch. So have yourself a great start to your career, young man, as he is aboard, and that's going to bring the top of the order up in Mookie Betts. So Betts is 1 for 2 tonight. He doubled and scored a run his last time up. He grounded out to the shortstop his first time. Our friend Demon Slayer, get hit again. I guess if you're going to get hit, the top of the foot is probably one of the locations you want to get hit with a breaking ball. Probably right at the tip of the toe. So here comes the first offering, but instead they throw over to first, and Outman goes diving back. You mentioned before, Outman was with Tulsa and Oklahoma City this year. Does he run particularly well? Well, he's got 11 stolen bases, the minors this year. There's the pitch from Webb. It's a fastball taken for a called strike to Mookie Betts, and the count is 0-1. Over the course of his minor league career, 66 stolen bases and has been caught 19 times, so he can run a little bit. So here comes the offering from Webb, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. Keeping my eye on the out-of-town scoreboard around Major League Baseball tonight. There's action all over the place. Not a full slate of games. Everything is still pretty much going on right now. Here comes the pitch from Webb. It is the fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third. They throw to second for a fielder's choice. That's going to erase Outman. That's going to go down 5-4 for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Dodgers in their half of the fourth inning. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There was no hits, no errors. They strand a runner. We are now through 3.5. It is the Dodgers 5, the Giants 1. Stick around, everybody. Come on back in just a bit, and we'll give you some of the out-of-town scores from around Major League Baseball. We're glad you guys are here with us tonight. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this from our friend, Steve Rademacher.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters come to bat for the Giants here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That means it's going to be Joey Bart, Mike Yastrzemski, and the top of the order, Darren Ruff. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on. It is backhanded by Muncy at third. He fires across the diamond, and that is going to retire Bart. So 1 pitch and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Mike Yastrzemski. Fred Demonslayer's holding it down as he says that he hates the parlays. SSG is a solid play, and Oryx could go either way with the quality of the pitchers tonight. One of the things about with Oryx is that game is in sight of against the Lions, if I'm not mistaken. And from what I can remember on that one is I would probably say that's the eraser for me in the game tonight is the home field advantage. And here's the first pitch. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski tonight walked his first time up. He was stranded at first back in the 2nd inning. So when I see Yamamoto going at it, and I forget, as I said, the other pitcher, I can look that up in a moment, and it is swung on and missed. The count is now 0-2. That kind of gives me the thought where it is probably, in my mind anyway, I would probably lean towards the Lions as well in that one, even though I probably would like and hope that the Buffaloes would probably win because I do like that starting pitcher. It's Kona Takahashi, and there's a breaking ball that is taken for a called third strike. Yastrzemski stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 2. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Darren Ruff. So Kona Takahashi, he's 6-7 with a 2.49 ERA against Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who is 10-5 with a 1.81 ERA. I look around the league, looks like the Giants are back in action tonight. I would consider, even though the game is at the egg, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Again, if I was putting money on something or investing or betting on something like this, I would probably be leaning toward the Tigers. Hanshin Tigers have played really good baseball the last month or so. There's a fastball swung on, and the Giants game was canceled over the weekend because they had too many players out with COVID. So that would be a game in my mind. It is Ayagi, who's 11-1 on the year for the Tigers, going up against CC Mercedes, who's 5-3. So that a lot of those things line up in favor of the Tigers in that one. There's a fastball swung on, and that is fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2, especially hitters who they need to play every day. One of the things we talk about, where I talk about guys who've gone into pro ball, and they say they like playing every day because it's your timing. You get a chance to see the pitchers every single day that you're playing. It's hard to play 2-3 times a week because you're not seeing the pitching regular. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away by Ruff, and the count remains at 1-2. So I'm curious to see if the Giants' timing will be off with the extended period of time that their group has been off with the issues around COVID. As I say, Hanshin is on a tear. When you think of how poorly they started the season and where they're at right now, there's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul, and the count remains at 0-2. Last year, the Tigers were really, really good. The Tigers were really, 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 really good at the beginning of the season last year. Jumped off to that huge start. I think they had Jerry Sands in the lineup, Justin Bohr, and there was a few others, Jeffrey Marte. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted down the right field line. Freddie Freeman gives chase, but he's going to watch it drift into the seats above the netting, and that's going to keep the count at 0-2 strikes. So if I've got this right, this is going to be the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Darren Ruff, and he's fouled the last 4 pitches off. So Heaney holds at the belt, and he rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside. They appeal down to Mark Ripperger over at first base, and they say that Ruff didn't go. That's going to run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Heaney gets the sign from his catcher. He rocks into the motion and delivers. It is a breaking ball. This time, Phil Cousy points to Darren Ruff and says he went around, and that is going to do it here for the Giants in their half of the 4th inning. There was no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 4 complete innings. It is a 5-1 ball game for the Dodgers over the Giants. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a few after this. We appreciate you all for listening in tonight. We're glad you are here with us. Here's our friend Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the order coming up for the Dodgers. That means Trey Turner, Freddie Freeman, and Will Smith face the right-hander Logan Webb. And the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Turner. Turner tonight is 0 for 1. He's grounded to third, and he has hit a sac fly for his 74th RBI of the year back in the third inning. And he takes a breaking ball down, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Trey Turner. Friend Demon Slayer says, yeah, not a fan of the parlays. He says the good gamblers know how to parlay. And there is the breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-2. As he talks about in the chat, he says the better to base winnings off of your winning percentage than wrapping them up together in a couple of bets. Yeah, that is very hard to do. I've got friends who like to do some of that stuff, and they like to try to compound it. It's kind of the risk and reward of doing it. Here comes the pitch. That is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to third. It's fielded neatly by VR. He throws across the diamond in time to retire Turner for the first out of the inning. It's a ground out 5-3 for out number 1. We've got Quaffs in the house tonight. Welcome back. We welcome you in for the action. We're going to be doing all of the Giants and the Dodgers series here, this entire series. All the games will go off at 6:45 Pacific or 9:45 Eastern, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then there'll be a early game on Thursday. Clayton Kershaw is going to be starting that one for the Dodgers. I can't remember who's going for the Giants. There's a fastball to Freeman that misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. There's already action in the bullpen. It is the former Cub reliever, Chris Martin, who is up and throwing. Of course, Martin just acquired in a trade for Zach McKinstry this past few days. So it'll be the Dodgers' first look, or his first look for the Dodgers. And there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-1. So the way he's heating up, it might be that he is going to be coming on in the bottom of the 5th inning. Heaney, of course, just coming off the injured list. And here's the pitch from Webb. It is a breaking ball that is swung out and fouled away, and the count's 1-2. Quaff says he lost a parlay because the Twins walk-off homer. Tigers had a early 2-0 lead. The Twins tied that up. I saw the Tigers went ahead 3-2 in the top of the 10th. Not sure who blew that save and gave that away. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. It's going to be a base hit. Digging for second is Freeman, and here comes the throw, and it's going to be in time. The right fielder, Yastrzemski, had to come a long way to his right to have to get it, and Freeman was coming hard right out of the box. He challenged the arm of the right fielder, and he was able to get in there in time. So that's a hustle double for Freddie Freeman. Basically made something out of nothing, and that is going to put a runner at second base with one out. That'll bring up the catcher, Will Smith. Yastrzemski fielded the ball, and he picked it up, and it was like he took his time and then realized, oh boy, I've got Freeman barreling down at me. As we said, good hustle by Freeman right out of the box. He gets himself in there. That's pretty much a cheap double. That's going to bring up the catcher, Will Smith. Here's the first offering from right-hander Webb. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Remember, I always tell the kids that I coach, I had a number of years ago, I was a young guy. I was playing at the University of Michigan. We were playing. I got thrown into left field, and there's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. Count is 0-2. I was playing college summer ball in Michigan, and there was a base hit into left field, and I took my sweet time as the left fielder to get to the ball, and the batter was coming hard out of the box and ended up with a double. And next thing you know, the next half inning, I was sitting on the bench next to the coach getting a lesson on how to play baseball. There's a fastball swung on. This is lined over the head of the third baseman, VR. It's going to get into left field. Coming around to score is going to be Freeman. And coming into second base is going to be Will Smith, as Smith is going to be trading places with Freeman with a double, and that is an RBI. It's going to increase the lead to 6-1. So that hustle double by Freeman is cashed in right away here for the Dodgers, as they are now up 6-1, with Jake Lamb coming to bat next. Friend Mick said he started doing baseball parlays on run lines because his dad would do that. He told me how to read certain matches from pitchers to pitcher matchups. And there is an art to that for sure. So this brings up Jake Lamb to the plate, and he takes a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Lamb tonight has a single and a strikeout in his 2 trips to the plate. He is 1 for 2. He has also scored a run. So here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into center field, drifting over to his right and making the catch is Austin Slater, and that is going to retire Lamb for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Gavin Lux. Our friend Quaff says, so instead of picking up 1,400, he goes, I'm looking at 800, which is still pretty good. There is action in the Giants bullpen. They have a lefty up and throwing. So there are 2 gone here in the 5th inning, and Gavin Lux strides to the plate. He's struck out and flown to left, and he takes a breaking ball over for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Dylan says he took the over in the Orcs game, over 6 straight bat. Boy, oh boy, I think if Demon Slayer is still around, he might be talking you off the ledge there. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1. That could be a tough game to see 6 runs scored against the 2 starters in that one being Yamamoto and Takahashi. So here's the 1-1 pitch, and it is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded softly to second. Fielded by Flores. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. A ground out 4-3 to end the inning. But the Dodgers pick up a run on the hustle double by Freddie Freeman, and then the double by Will Smith. 1 run and 2 hits in the inning, no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 4.5. It is the Dodgers 6, the Giants 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. I have a feeling we're going to see Chris Martin's debut in a Dodger uniform when we return. Hang tight. Glad you're with us tonight. It's a beautiful night for baseball in San Francisco.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going now to the bottom half of the fifth inning. We're just waiting on the confirmation if it is going to be Chris Martin coming in to replace Andrew Heaney. Heaney had 4 innings tonight. Very effective so far in his start tonight, as he had settled down after that first inning where he'd given up the first run of the ball game. But he ended up with 7 strikeouts in the 4 innings. And it is going to be a pitching change, and it is going to be Chris Martin making his Los Angeles Dodgers debut. So Chris Martin on in relief, as he was acquired from the Chicago Cubs. So Martin is now in the ballgame. On the season here, this is the 35th appearance. He's worked 31 and a third innings. He's given up 38 hits, 16 runs, 15 have been earned. He has walked only 4, which is the impressive part. And he has struck out 40. He is a big fella. They list him at 6'8" and 225 pounds. Originally drafted out of high school by the Tigers and redrafted out of a community college in Waco, Texas, the 21st round by the Rockies. But he is on here. He has been in the big leagues since 2014. It's his 7th year as he's had parts. And he has been pretty much a staple over the last few seasons, both with the Texas Rangers and Atlanta Braves. And now, of course, he signed with the Cubs and traded to the Dodgers to have to face the Braves this year. The first pitch is a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Take it for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Slater. So if you're the Atlanta Braves, I'm sure you're not going to be happy about that, as you're probably going to be in the playoffs and may have to face the Dodgers at some point. And your former a reliever out of your bullpen. So no balls and 1 strike to Slater. And Martin delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Austin Slater. We said tonight it's been an enjoyable evening for baseball in San Francisco. Our friend Dylan looking for some easy money in the stuff. You have to really, if you're going to do some of this stuff, if you're going to gamble, and I'm not, as I said, I've talked in the streams before, I tell you who you like, but I'm not much of a gambler. There's a fastball swung on, it's lifted into center field. Drifting over on it is Bellinger, and he makes the catch, and that's going to retire Slater. It's always easier to bet with somebody else's money than it is your own. So Yermin Mercedes steps to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He singled his last time up, and he's flown to right field. But it is difficult unless you are into it on a daily basis. Where I used to work years ago, we used to get to pick hockey games. I had to pick hockey games, and I had a hockey pool, and I was pretty good at it. Consistently, game in, game out. There's a fastball swung on, and it is grounded over to second. Fielded by the second baseman, Lux. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Mercedes on a ground out 4-3 for out number 2. Demon Slayer makes a huge point. He says, most important thing about gambling is your money management. You can't just be tossing the money around that you don't have. But the other thing is, too, is the gambling houses are in business to make money. That's in all kinds of fronts. Las Vegas, I shouldn't say that. I have seen casinos go bankrupt. How does a casino go bankrupt in my opinion? That's another question for another day. As our friend Demon Slayer said about talking politics, how does a casino go bankrupt? You got to be not very bright running the ship there. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. I was in Vegas for my first time back in 1997. And I remember there was a casino that was going through bankruptcy. For some reason, I want to say it was the one with the roller coaster on it. But I think it was another one. I can't remember exactly which one it was. There was a fastball taken for a called strike. And that is going to even the count at 1-1. Quaff says the Astros almost hit a home run to tie it. It's like a hooked it foul. But Quaff is right, as well as he echoes that about the money management. You can't spend what you don't have. That's where people get themselves into trouble. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field. And looking up and watching it sail into the seats is Outman. And that is going to be a solar shot for Wilmer Flores. And so that is going to cut the lead to 6-2. So the Giants aren't dead yet. There's a lot of time left in this one. As Chris Martin serves up a solo shot, that's his welcoming to Los Angeles. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Luis Gonzalez. For Gonzalez, he's been aboard twice tonight. He had that bunt base hit back in the first inning, and he had another single back in the third. He's got his average up to 287. Our friend Mick says he's built his glob off a couple hundred, and that's what happens sometimes is, you got to put your nickels and dimes down, or even when you go into a casino or whatever it is, you say, I'm playing with what I have, and when it's gone, it's gone. There's a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Gonzalez. Would have been about 6 years ago. I went down to Vegas. I flew to Vegas, and I drove down to LA, saw the Dodgers play, and I went over to Arizona and saw the D-backs and made my way back up to Las Vegas and flew out. It was a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count is 1-1. And when I went into Vegas, I stayed at the hotel that was the one with the roller coaster on. I think that's the Stratosphere. Pretty cheap night. And I remember playing, and I said, I'm going to go and play cards, and I'm going to stay at the table until I either lose out or whatever. And we were playing poker. And anyways, there's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded back to the pitcher. Martin fields it. He flips it over underhand to first, and that is going to do it. As Gonzalez is going to ground out 1-3 for the third out of the inning. I'll come back and tell you my story when I finish here. There was one run in the inning on the homer by Flores. One hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. It is now 6-2 as we are through 5 complete. We'll be back in the top of the 6th, and we'll carry on with our chat with the chat. Hang tight, everybody. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher again.
Hello, friends. Steve coming back at you. A clean-shaven Steve. Thank you for watching The Last Raps Baseball. And please continue to support my channel among others, like Another Hollis Build. Awesome commercial. And now I'll show you a few more things that we do have. We have toys, like this bobblehead Star Wars on wheels. We have Noids. We can't keep avoiding them forever. We do have Legos. Love my Legos. We have Origami Folder. Check him out. He's new into this, getting started, has good following already. We have Red Beard Breaks. And we also have these things that, in a pinch, will tell you what your temperature is. So, if you like all of this, and if you like Last Raps Baseball, join all of us. We'd love to have you. And I know you would enjoy us. Thank you, peace, good night, and cheers.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming to bat for the Dodgers here in the top of the 6th inning. That means it's going to be Max Muncy, Cody Bellinger, and James Outman. And we do have a pitching change coming up for the Giants, as it looks like it's going to be Sammy Long coming in relief here of the star Logan Webb. It was not Logan Webb's night tonight, as he had been roughed up in his appearances, so he is going to be done for the night. And Sammy Long is coming in, as he will be taking over here. So Long in and Webb out. Sam Long on the season. Lefty is working in his 28th ball game. He's got 40 in the third innings under his belt. He's allowed 38 hits, 22 runs, 16 earned. He's walked 13 and struck out 31. He's got a 1-3 record. So Long is in. I started to tell the story a little bit when I was coming back, and I think I had $100 with me, and I said, I'm going to go and play. I didn't want to play all night. Thank God I didn't. There was a foul ticket for a called strike. So I went and played Texas Hold'em, and I had pocket kings, and I hit a king on the flop. And here comes the pitch from Long. It is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. And I laid everything in that I had, and I was actually up at the time. I think probably had it in my chips. I was like, okay, this is the last hand I'm going to play, and I think I was pretty close to doubling my money. It was up to about $190 or something like that. So I shove everything all in. And on the one guy goes with me, and he's got pocket aces. And he ends up hitting the other ace. I think it was on the river, and I get sewered, and I walked away with nothing. But always go and you gamble with what you have, and you say, well, I'm not going to take any more or any less, because that $100 bought me about 3.5 hours of entertainment. And when you think about it, it's hard to be able to do that sometimes elsewhere. As a breaking ball is swung on and fouled away, the count remains 0-2. And I think that's the last time I've been in a casino to play cards or do anything like that. So that's been a ways away. Lots of good fun in doing it. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Muncie. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled down the first baseline, and the count remains at 0-2. But it does take you a while if you're going to do some of that stuff. March Madness, and even the college football season, if you're into that stuff, you can really do some damage. I'm not big into the college football. I've got some friends who just lap it up when it gets to that time of the year. There's a breaking ball that misses down, a good stop by the catcher, Bart. And Demon Slayer says, yeah, college basketball, I assume that's basketball, not baseball, can be very lucrative. Yeah, absolutely. I remember when I was at the Maui Classic a number of years ago, one of the things that I watched or noted was just how the games can evaporate really quickly, or leads can. You get the NBA, and you got about 3 minutes to go in a game and an 18-point lead. It's very, very difficult for that lead to evaporate. But in college ball, 10, 12-point lead can go away in a big hurry late in the game. There's a fastball that misses in, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. You think about some of that stuff, and anyways, it's just the way it goes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down to Muncie, and the count is now 3-2. On the flip side, one of my other gambling stories, I was out with a couple of friends of mine, and this is going back maybe 7-8 years ago, when we were in one of the casinos, and one of my friends, she likes to play the slots, and her niece and myself, we just decided to walk around, and there's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul, and the count is 3-2. And so we had some money, and we were going to play a little bit, and we decided, hey, why don't we each put $10 in on this one slot? And we did. We put 20 in, and we ended up pulling, and the next thing you know, we ended up, I think, hitting on one turn, we hit jackpot. And so we ended up with like about $800. So printed out the ticket, as there was a ball that swung out and fouled away, and the count remains at 3-2. And anyways, we walked back to where our other friend was playing, and we showed her the ticket, and she couldn't believe it. She almost fell off the chair, because what we had won, she had pretty much seemed like lost. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Muncie has gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. That was quite the battle. That ended up being an 11-pitch at bat for Max Muncie. Took Sammy Long to a good battle here, but Long is able to throw a pitch up and in, and Muncie went fishing for the wrong pitch. So that's going to bring up Cody Bellinger to the plate. Bellinger is 0 for 2 tonight. He's flown to left, and he grounded into a double play his last time up. Batting from the left side against the left-hander Long. Long gets the signals from Bart, and he delivers it as a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is now 0-1 to Bellinger. Demon Slayer says he's lost a number of money on one bet. Stanford, Washington. Last second field goal from 50 yards with the clock running out. He goes, I'll never forget that. Yeah, you probably never will. So no balls and 1 strike. As long as there wasn't a band on the field, I think that was Cal in Stanford, if I'm not mistaken, years ago. And here's the 1-strike pitch. Here's a fastball swung on it. His grounder right back up the middle. Is taken on a hop by Machado. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Bellinger on a ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. That is going to bring up the left fielder James Outman. So Outman, who was 3 for 4 yesterday, has followed it up on base twice tonight. He was singled and scored a run, and he was hit by a pitch his last time up. So 5 out of the 6 times he's been to the plate in the big leagues, he's reached base. He's going to have a few war stories for his grandkids about this one. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to left-handed hitting Outman. Now Outman asks for time, and he steps out, and Sam Long wants a new baseball. So Outman batting from the left side of the plate. Ready to face the offering from the left-hander Long. Long gets the sign from his catcher Bart. Now he rocks into delivery, and it is a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Long back to the delivery. There's a fastball that misses down. They appeal over to Dan Bellino, the third base umpire, but they say that Outman didn't go, and it's now 3-0. Well, sometimes you get into a groove. You got the rookie here, Outman, at the plate, and he's just making this game look easy. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside, and he is aboard for the 3rd time tonight on a base on ball. Single hit by a pitch, base on ball, and he's getting it done. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Mookie Betts. Gotta like it when those young guys, they step in and instant impact in the lineup. I mean, not like the Dodgers need a whole lot of help. Whatever they seem to touch, it seems to turn to gold. James Outman has come in, and he's gone off to a great start in the big leagues. This is probably going to buy him at least another week or 2 in the big leagues, just on how he starts out. So here comes the first offering to Betts. It's a changeup swung on. It is tapped into fair territory. The catcher, Bart, fields it. He tries to tag Betts. Can't do it, and he throws to first, and that is going to retire him. It's going to go down as a ground out 2-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. It was kind of a bizarre little play there. So there was no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and there was 1 left aboard. We're now through 5.5. It is the Los Angeles Dodgers leading the San Francisco Giants 6-2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. The call at the bottom of the 6th inning. We're glad you're with us, and we'll do the out-of-town scoreboard after this from our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. And we're going to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard while we wait for the Giants to come to bat at the bottom of the 6th. The Minnesota Twins and the Tigers were locked up at 2 going to the 10th inning. The Tigers scored a run in the top of the 10th. And the Minnesota Twins scored a run, and then they walked off the Tigers. It was Alex Lang giving up the bomb there in the bottom of the 10th inning. 5-3, the Twins beat the Tigers. The Cincinnati Reds knocked off the Miami Marlins today 3-1 in Miami. Hunter Green got his 4th win of the year against 12 losses. Jesus Luzardo, fresh off the disabled list, took the loss. He's 2-4. Strickland got the save. Mets knocked off the Nationals 7-3 in Washington. The return of Max Scherzer, he got the victory against Patrick Corbin, who lost his 15th of the season. Yankees beat the Mariners 7-2 in New York. Herman got the win, and Gonzalez took the loss. D-backs lost to the Guardians in 11 innings, 6-5. That one's in Cleveland. The Orioles knocked off the Rangers 7-2. As we are ready to get this one back underway, as we got the lefty on the mound, Caleb Ferguson, ready to go. And the first pitch is a breaking ball delivered to David Villar for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So Caleb Ferguson on in relief of Chris Martin, who relieved Andrew Heaney. So here comes the 0-1 offering to Villar. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. Ferguson on the season, 6'3" lefty. He's working in his 15th game. He's got 15 2/3 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, 6 walks, and 11 strikeouts. And here comes the pitch to Villar. It's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count now remains at no balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Mick says, minus 35 point spread on an NCAA football game has me tripping. And then they win by 40. Yeah, that's always tough when you see some of those score lines. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-2, like when an Appalachian State would take on the University of Michigan. Just the difference in the abilities. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. It is to VR, and here's the offering. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And VR is down on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Dixon Machado. For Machado, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown out to center, and he has struck out looking his 2 trips to the plate. It was his first at-bats in the big leagues yesterday, as he had been away from Major League Baseball for a few years. His last big league at-bat was, we were saying, in 2018. Spent time in the Korean League as he watched a breaking ball miss outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Lefty Machado waggles the bat, and here comes the offering from Ferguson. It's a fastball at 95 that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-0. He is filling the void right now with the absence of Brandon Crawford at short. And Thairo Estrada also out of the lineup again tonight. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded to the left side. Turner fields it. He throws on the run, and that is going to retire Machado on a ground out 6-3. A nice play there by Turner. Able to cover ground, moving to his left, gets it and throws out Machado for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the catcher, Joey Bart. Our friend Quaff says one of his worst beats last year, bad beat, was the Taylor TCU under 49.5. I have to admit, I don't remember that game. I don't necessarily follow. That's Big 12 football, I think. Baylor Bears and the Texas Christian Horned Frogs. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Bart. Bart tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to the first baseman and grounded to third his 2 trips to the plate. And here comes the offering from the lefty. It is a fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Ferguson now kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Joey Bart. Bottom of the 6th inning here. It's a 6-2 ball game for the Dodgers over the Giants. 6-8-0 for the Dodgers. 2-5-0 for the Giants. It's been a one-sided affair, but really the Dodgers have got their runs in bunches. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul, and the count remains at 1-2. Just a couple of those other scores from around the big leagues, the other finals that we were keeping tabs on. The Red Sox beat the Astros tonight 3-2. The other final that's in is the Royals knocked off the White Sox 2-1. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bart. The only other game going on in the big leagues right now are the Padres have a 3-1 lead over the Rockies. That's through 6 innings. It's not today that the Rockies have placed Chris Bryant on the injured list. He's going to miss some time. So here comes the 2-2 offering to Joey Bart as Ferguson kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is hit to deep right center field, but moving underneath it is the center fielder Bellinger. He makes the catch, and that is going to do it here in the 6th inning for the Giants. The Giants go quietly. In their half of the 6th inning, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 6 complete. In San Francisco, it is the Giants trailing the Dodgers 6-2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the final third of this one in just a couple moments. I'm glad you guys are with us tonight, and hopefully you guys can come on back for some late-night Japanese baseball at 2 a.m. in the morning or 5 a.m. if you're just getting up in the East Coast. We'll be right back in a minute.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game. and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave's Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate you, Dave. We'll be right back in just a moment after this with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the seventh inning. It is going to be Trey Turner, Freddie Freeman, and Will Smith slated to come to bat. I would assume that we are going to have a pitching parade from here on out. I don't know if they're going to bring Sammy Long out for his second inning of work. We're just talking about some of the games that have gone on in football, college football last year. Some weird stuff. Makes you wonder sometimes on how some of these games do play out. Makes you scratch your head a little bit and wonder if there's a little bit too much influence on stuff, but I don't think there is. I haven't seen it, not since the Art Schleister days, or at least I can say that roundabout. Sammy Long is going to stay in the ball game here as he's going to be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the order, Turner, Freeman, and Smith. So Turner waggles the bat, and he's waiting on the first offering from Sam Long. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball one. And the count is 1-0. Long threw 18 pitches in his first inning of work, as he's back on to face the Dodgers for round number 2. And there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field. This ball is going to be up, and it is gone. A home run for Trey Turner. He's going to get himself his second RBI of the night to put him up to 75 on the year. And Turner is rounding the bases. That's going to increase the lead to 7-2 for the Dodgers. Now you run they gave back a couple innings ago. They get back here, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Freddie Freeman. One thing I wish I knew in the betting department is I was talking today to our friend Steve Rademacher. I was chatting with him for a little bit earlier on before this game, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball one. The count is 1-0. Going into tonight's action, I think I had 935 subscribers to the channel. And I don't quite have, the other piece to this is 4,000 publicly watched hours. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1 on Freeman. And we were laughing a little bit, and I said, which is going to fall first? Am I going to get the 4,000 hours first, or am I going to get to the subscribers first? And there's a breaking ball that misses down. Count is 2-1. Somewhere I'm sure that they will know which one you will reach first, the 1,000 subs or the 4,000 hours. The 4,000 hours, I'm about 500 away. And of course, the 65 subs away, which could happen pretty quickly. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 3-1. So we do appreciate everybody who does listen in and subscribes to the channel, and we're doing that as well. Our friend Dylan says, you cover in the Oryx game tonight. Yep, we'll be doing that one at 2 a.m. Pacific time, 5 a.m. on the East Coast. There's a fastball swung on it. It is grounded over to short. It is fielded by the shortstop Machado. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Freeman on a ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the catcher Will Smith. We're going to be doing that whole series, Oryx and Cebu, all this week as well. So just as we're doing the Dodgers and the Giants every day, we're also going to do that one as well. I think I've marched out who I'm going to be doing on the weekend. I think it's going to be, I want to say Fukuoka and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. I'm going to do at least the first 2 games in the series, and I'm debating whether I go down to Seattle or not. There's a breaking ball taken for a call strike by Will Smith, and the count is 0-1. It doesn't look like that Shohei Ohtani is going to be pitching in Seattle this weekend, and there's a changeup swung on and missed. The count goes to 0-2 on Smith. So I'm debating whether I take the drive down to go see the Mariners in that doubleheader on the Saturday. I may just put my feet up and relax and call some more games in the NPB and the MLB that weekend. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 1-2 to Smith. So I would think that we'll probably end up doing all three of the games of that Eagles and Hawks series as well. I took a look. I was actually probably going to do the Tohoku series playing Chiba. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Well, the Braves are busy, so it looks like we've just got ourselves an announcement. There's a ball up top. Looks like there's been a couple of trades around Major League Baseball. Braves are going to acquire Robbie Grossman from the Detroit Tigers. As there is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. Detroit is going to be getting a pitcher in Chris Anglin, according to Cody Stavenage of The Athletic. So Robbie Grossman is going to be going away. Robbie Grossman, I have to say, that's a cheap deal. He's on an expiring contract. He's got 1 year left on $5 million, and there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire him for the second out of the inning. He's been besieged a little bit by injuries this year, but he was a 2020 guy for the Tigers last year. I wonder if Grossman can head into Atlanta and give them what they got last year from the players they brought in that deal, whether it be Hongerge, Soler, or Rosario, or Duvall, any of those type of guys. Apparently, the Cardinals are finalizing a deal to bring in Jose Quintana and Chris Stratton. Quintana was a pitcher with the Pirates who a number of teams were looking for. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Jake Lamb. Lamb tonight is 1 for 3. He had a single, he has struck out, and he has flown out to center. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1 to him. Other movement around Major League Baseball. As we said, the Braves are making a swap with the Astros. They're going to get Will Smith. The Astros will be. And Jake Odorizzi, as there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Count is 1-2. Odorizzi is going to go the other way to the Braves. Interesting trade there. Will Smith was an important part of the bullpen for the Braves last year. So him going to the Astros and Jake Odorizzi coming in. Interesting decision on that one. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 2-2. I know that Lance McCullers Jr. is expected to be coming back at some point. The Rangers and the Brewers have agreed to a trade, including Mark Mathis and Matt Bush. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. So it looks like that Bush is going from Texas to Milwaukee. Rangers are acquiring infielder Mark Mathis from the Brewers. By the sound of it, it's Antoine Kelly is also going from Milwaukee to Texas in the deal. So Matt Bush, the reliever, former number 1 overall pick. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to second. Fielded by Flores. He throws to first, and that is going to do it on a ground out 4-3. Lamb is retired. They got a run in the inning on the leadoff home run by Trey Turner. So for Turner, there was a run in the inning on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Their score, as we're through now, 6.5. It is 7-2 for the Dodgers. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back and see if we can catch up on some more movement around the league after this. Glad you guys are with us. Seven two is the score, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. There are all kinds of trades happening around the MLB. We'll be back after this from our friend Steve.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPG baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. And we thank you, as always, for helping us out and checking and being supportive of us. Don't forget to go check him out after the ball game, as you'll be able to see what he's got to offer on his channel, whether it's Money Monday, Takeover Tuesday, any of that stuff. It is always on Steve's channel. We have Yency Almonte coming in. It's going to be now the fourth pitcher used by the Dodgers tonight. So Yency Almonte coming in. He's the only player in the history of the game at the big league level with the first name of Yency. So you can put that in your pipe and smoke it. So he is now pitcher number 4 coming in. And the first pitch from Almonte is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right center field. Moving back on it is Mookie Betts. He's got room and he's going to make the catch. And with one pitch, Mike Yastrzemski is gone for out number 1 here in the 7th inning. And that's going to bring up the top of the order in Darren Ruff. So Yastrzemski, Ruff, and Slater here for the Giants in the bottom of the 7th inning. Almonte has had his first 4 years of his career with the Rockies. With the Dodgers, he's got no record. He's in his 28th appearance. He's got 29 and third innings under his belt, allowing 18 hits, 4 runs all earned. He's walked 10 and struck out 30, and there's a first pitch fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Ruff. Ruff tonight, 0 for 2. He struck out twice, but he was hit by a pitch, and he scored the first Giant run. His average has slipped to 217 on the campaign, and there's a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Dylan says, I got Oryx and the over. And he also has put his nickels down on Landers. Well, I can't tell you anything about the KBO. There's the breaking ball that's grounded over to short. Turner fields it. He throws across the diamond, and that's going to retire Ruff for the second out of the inning. So he ground out 6-3. But I would say the over 6 in that game is a little bit dicey. As we said, it's going to be a premium for runs to be scored. So Austin Slater steps to the plate. He is hitting .285. He's got no homers and 3 runs batted in. So Slater steps to the dish. He waggles the bat, and he's waiting on the first offering from the pitcher Almonte, who throws a breaking ball that's swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Slater tonight is 0 for 3. He's flown out to center twice and has struck out in his 3 trips to the plate. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field. And Cody Bellinger's got the space in the room, and that's going to be it as they go quietly here in the 7th inning to the Giants. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're moving to the top of the 8th inning in San Francisco. It is the Los Angeles Dodgers 7, the San Francisco Giants 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in a few after this. At the top of the 8th inning.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
As always, we appreciate you there, Matt, and your support of our channel. And in turn, be sure to check out another Hollis build after the game. That's Matt Hollis for all your entertaining stuff. We'll be back in a moment, everybody, with the call. Top of the 8th inning coming up in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. It is a lefty, another one coming in for the Giants. It's going to be Yarlin Garcia. He is taking over here in the top of the 8th inning. Garcia is going to be working in his 36th ball game of the year. He's 1-3. He's got an ERA of 3.06 and 35 in the third innings pitched. He's walked 13 and struck out 25. So it is going to be Garcia on in relief. He's going to be facing Gavin Lux, Max Muncy, and Cody Bellinger. 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the batting order for the Los Angeles Dodgers. This game here is going to clean up a little bit early. We're going to get ourselves a little bit longer nap, and I have a feeling I have to get up and make the call on that game that's going to be featured at 2 a.m. Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern. So we're looking forward to that one as well, bringing that to you guys tonight and all this week. So Gavin Lux steps to the plate. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He has flown out to left. He is struck out and grounded to second. That is where we stand here. And our friend Dylan says he's got the over, and our Demon Slayer says good luck on that one. I had a buddy of mine who always used to like to take the locks, or what he would perceive as locks. As we've got a visit to the mound here. Hang tight for a second here. Yarlin Garcia may not be doing too well out here. Joey Bart has called for the trainer, and we've got the manager Max Kepler out there, and we're talking to Garcia on the mound. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure what's happening. He's got the trainer with him, and they do have, it looks like he's got, is it a blister or something on his hand? I'm not sure what he had there. It looks like he's going to be ready to go at it. Whatever it is, they're okay. They seem to say that he's all right. They thought maybe it was a blister on his finger or something. They had the translator out there as well. So the Giant Brass returns to the dugout, and Garcia is going to carry on. So that was strange. So Garcia leans in, ready to face Gavin Lux. And here comes the first pitch. As he kicks and fires, it's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Saying about, I have one buddy who likes to, where he tries to, in his mind, take 2 or 3 locks and then have something that he feels is a kicker that could happen. Try to drive up or to give him a kicker on the picks on a win. There's a fastball swung on. It is fouled away right off the mask of Phil Cousy. Takes the mask, the hat, everything goes to the ground. Boy, oh boy, he took that one flush. It's going to run the count now to 0-2. I'll see that one again on the replay. It was a fastball inside, took the mask and then the hat off, and there's Cousy. His hands out in the air, couldn't make the catch on anything. So probably has a good chuckle behind the mask, and he's probably having a good conversation with Joey Bart. So here comes the 0-2 offering from Garcia. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. And moving over is Gonzalez. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Gavin Lux for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Max Muncy. I would expect that we may see some more trades into the wee hours of the morning. And then, of course, probably tomorrow there'll be a flurry of stuff before the deadline. Well, I like that move that the Braves made, getting Robbie Grossman from the Tigers. I don't know if I like the Tigers move, getting a lefty low A arm who's kind of struggled this year. So Muncy ready on the first offering from Garcia, who kicks and delivers. It is a fastball. Take it for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Muncy. Muncy tonight homered in the second inning, a 2-run shot. He's walked and struck out. They've got the shift on. There are 3 fielders to the right side of the infielder. Machado is the only one to the left side. And here comes the pitch to Muncy. It's a breaking ball that this is outside, and the count is now 1-1. See, this is the part that would drive me crazy. If you're a hitter here, they are gifting you the entire left side. Max Muncy's batting 163 on the season. Go the other way with the pitch. And that last pitch that he took for a ball, even though it was off the outside corner, that was a pitch. Should be hunting. And there's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. So he's had 2 pitches on the outside part of the plate that he could go the other way with. He stayed right off them. Well, whatever your plan is, Max, stay with it. Our friend Mick says good luck on that as well. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as Garcia holds at the belt. And now he kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Backing up is Slater. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Muncy for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to the center fielder, Cody Bellinger. As they pan the crowd, they've got some guy sitting behind home plate in the 3rd row, and he's got a catcher's mask on, or the hockey-style mask, right behind home plate, behind the netting. I don't know if he sat the whole game like that or not. It's just really out of our view, because normally we get the first row or the first 2 rows. Anything beyond that, not so much. But that guy's sitting right behind home plate, and he's got a hockey mask on. So here comes the first offering to Bellinger. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up over on the right side. It's playable. Moving over underneath it is the first baseman, Ruff. He makes the catch, and that is going to do it here in the 8th inning for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And nope, there goes the mask. He's going to take it off. He's going to get a breather in between innings. So there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 8th. It is the Dodgers 7, the Giants 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys could be here with us. Here's our friend Steve again.
Hey guys, and thank you, Freddie. Steve coming back at you. That's right, Steve Rademacher. I would like to thank each and every one of you that is tuned into my channel. And today, let's do a little shout out for some other great channels you should be watching. There is WVogs 18. There's Big D's Sports and Collectibles. You all know another Hollis build. Why not Like Father, Like Son? That's a great duo that does some great stuff. It shows some great cards. And of course, the one and only Bud Stoney, creators of One of Ones, a creator of One of Ones, and they're all signed on the back. Bud Stoney, One of One, like this beautiful Robin Yount that he made for me. He made me another Robin Yount, this time mini, and a Christian Yelich mini. Great cards, and he does more than cards. We have darts of Hulk Hogan and many other things. So give them a look-see and give me another look-see. Subscribers are always welcome, and back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel, and in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the ball game. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back after this. Call the bottom of the 8th inning. We're glad you guys could be here with us tonight. Here's our friend Dave.
Thanks for checking out Freddie and Last Wraps Baseball. It's time to announce the winner of this month's mystery pack. Boom! Josh S., you're the winner. Congratulations. Enjoy the game, and remember to tell Steve Rademacher, pick a haircut. Back to the game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be David Price on the hill. It's going to be his 27th appearance of the year. He has no record. He's got an ERA of 3.08. He's worked 26 and a third innings, walking 6 and striking out 29. Our friend Demon Slayers, which game are you covering tonight? It is going to be the Buffaloes and the Lions. We're going to do all that whole series this week. make my decision this way on the matchups. I don't like the Fukuoka Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighter matchup. I would have actually preferred to do Chiba and the Golden Eagles, as we like doing the Pacific League stuff. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Mercedes. So that's kind of what I was planning on doing. I'm not 100% sure yet if that's going to be the entire week, but I think we're going to do that the entire week. And then on the weekend, it'll be the games between, if I remember correctly, it'll be Fukuoka and Tohoku. There was strange weather in Tohoku. I think tonight that game may be jeopardy of being rained out. There's thunderstorms and rain in the area, so that is the one reason why I didn't jump on that game tonight. And here comes the 0-2 pitch as Mercedes has fell behind here, and it is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Junior Marte is up and throwing in the Giants bullpen. It would be assumed that he's probably going to be coming in for the 9th inning. Here comes the offering from Price. It is a fastball swung on, grounded softly to short. Turner fields it. He throws to first. And Mercedes is retired on a ground out, 6-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Wilmer Flores. So, yeah, we will be calling that game in the middle of the night between the Buffaloes and the Lions. So hopefully folks can come on in and join us for that one. If you're up late, make sure you put up a pot of coffee. Our friend Mick usually works late. So 1 ball and 2 strikes was the count when Mercedes grounded out. Now Wilmer Flores steps to the plate, ready to face the offerings from Price. There's the first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Flores tonight is 2 for 3. He has a homer, a single, and he struck out looking in his 3 trips to the plate. And Price ready to deliver again. As he kicks and fires, it is a breaking ball swung on. It's lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the first base line. That's going to run the count now to 0-2. Must be nice to have a former Cy Young Award winner coming out of your bullpen, as David Price is definitely that. So hopefully we'll get some more people that are coming in to support through the evening. We do get a pretty good crowd in the Japanese games. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. Really pleased with that. I'd like to get some of our major league crowd up in the future, but I think one of the things I've gone in and watched guys call games and different stuff. I see the Yankees, they got all kinds of people calling their games. There's a Latin number of guys who do it in Spanish. There's guys who do it in different languages. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think if you did certain teams dedicated, I just don't have that flexibility to be dedicated to call the same teams. Mind you, that will be 5 days in a row we'll call the Giants this week. Just don't have that luxury. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 1-2. So I sometimes have to pick and choose the games that we call in the daytime or in the evenings. In the summertime, I can call the evening games, but the rest of the time I've got to call day games just because of my own schedule. So they have the fielders. 3 of them are to the left side of the infield. Freddie Freeman is the only fielder to the right side. As it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Flores. Here's the pitch from Price. It's a breaking ball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now at 2-2. But I think that that's one way that you can get a lot more people dialing into the channel where you're dedicated. If you were a dedicated Boston Red Sox caller, or a dedicated Yankee caller, or a dedicated Atlanta Brave caller, you'd have a lot more people following you to come in and listen. And there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line. Keeps the count at 2-2. But I do enjoy calling the Japanese games, and I don't think, to my knowledge, there's anybody else that does it. So hopefully you have us there. I see that the NPB every once in a while will have some Japanese or English calls in Japanese. It's very sporadic. I think you could probably watch it on mute and do a better job yourselves. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Demon Slayer says over-under in the Oryx game went from 6.5 to 5.5. I'm feeling confident at 6.5. Yes. I also would like to see what the lineup looks like. That's one thing that would affect it as well for me. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined to left field, leaping up in the air and making the catch is Outman. And that is going to retire Flores. He hit the ball right on the screws, but right to the glove of Outman, who retires him for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the center fielder, Luis Gonzalez. The Japanese League, one of the challenges is the lineup. They come out about 45 minutes before the game. They post the lineups. Where in Major League Baseball, the Dodgers had their lineup posted about 4 hours before the first pitch in this one. The Giants were about 3 hours behind. Our friend Mick says, we call all the games pretty nice. Well, we appreciate you for being here. Sometimes you get to know the players a little bit better when you're doing the local stuff. There's a fastball that's missing down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. You have to do a little bit more homework in some capacity. I was saying the other night in doing the Japanese stuff that hard sometimes to get straight up English information on the players, Japanese players. There's a fastball that catches the bottom part of the plate for a called strike. Gonzalez didn't like that. He threw his hands in the air. Gonzalez is 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a couple of singles and a ground out. Didn't like that pitch, but I guess when you're David Price and a former Cy Young Award winner, you get the benefit of the doubt. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1 to Gonzalez. He would have went a little bit crazy there had that one been a call to strike. Our friend Demon Slayer said earlier on, he said about Ohtani going to San Francisco would be a huge boon. Anywhere really on the coast. I thought the Mariners might have had a shot at him because of their connection to the Japanese League. There's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. The count is now 2-2. Certainly the former owner, being the Nintendo owner who owned the Mariners for a while, was one of those kind of guys. They had Ichiro. They had the catcher Kenji Jojima. Even Iwakuma, the left-handed starter, put in some good times there in Seattle. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul behind home plate. The count remains at 2-2 to Gonzalez. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is the third baseman, David Villar, should Gonzalez find a way to get on here to extend the inning. So David Price gets his side from his catcher, Smith. And now he comes set at the belt. Takes a deep breath, and he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shohei Ohtani would look good there. He'd also probably have looked good in a Oakland uniform as well, but nobody really comes to see games in Oakland, so it's probably a non-starter there. San Francisco, Seattle, Dodgers, anywhere up and down the coast, he would have fit in just perfect. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. I had a picture when I got off the plane at Narita. Came walking around, and there is Shohei Ohtani in the Angels uniform, and he was pitching a watch. I don't know if it was Casio or Seiko or who knows what it was. He was the poster child for it. So literally get off the plane, and Ohtani welcomes you to Narita. So here's the 2-2 pitch. As Price delivers, it is a fastball missing upstairs. The count now goes to 3-2. This is going to be pitch number 9 coming up here to the left fielder Gonzalez. He's looking to find his way on for the 3rd time tonight. Our friend Mick says, bring Ohtani to the Mets. I don't know if I think he's got a better chance of being a Yankee than he does a Met. Can you imagine Shohei Ohtani as a New York Yankee? That city would be absolutely abuzz. They'd be crazy for him coming there. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the offering now from the lefty Price. He delivers. It's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to short. It's backhanded by Turner. He throws on the run, and that is going to retire Gonzalez. A nice play by Turner. Ground out 6-3 to end the inning here in the 8th. So for the Giants, again, they go quietly here in their half of the inning. It is 10 in a row retired by Dodger pitchers. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the 9th inning. It is the Los Angeles Dodgers 7, the San Francisco Giants 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the top of the 9th in just a moment.
Hello, guys. Steve Rademacher coming at you. I'm having my 500 subscriber giveaway if we get there by the end of this year. That's my name and my channel, Steve Rademacher. All you have to do is be publicly subscribed, and then you can enter to win once we hit the magic number, either an unopened, still sealed box of Star Trek official trading cards, Next Generation and Original Series. If that's not your cup of tea, we have Fleer Adrenaline with a Deer Dick rookie card. I have pulled out an autograph from one of these, and there are relics. If that's not your thing, how about an unopened box of 1987 Donruss Baseball? Just come watch me, subscribe, and enjoy the show. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 9th inning. It is going to be James Outman, Mookie Betts, and Trey Turner to come to bat. And they are going to the bullpen as it's going to be Junior Marte coming in relief here, as he is going to be the 4th pitcher used on the evening by the manager, Gabe Kapler. As Marte is completing his warm-up tosses, we're getting ready to resume the action here in just a moment. Marte is going to be working in his 22nd game of the year. He's got no record. He's got an ERA of 5.53. He's got 27 2/3 innings with 12 walks and 25 strikeouts under his belt. He'll be taking over here to face Outman, Betts, and Turner, the 9-1-2 hitters in the order. Our friend Mick says if Tani became a Yankee, it would be a Japanese tourist spot during baseball season. Yeah, absolutely. Unbelievable. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Outman tonight, he's 1 for 1. He's been hit by a pitch. He's walked and scored a run. He is now 4 for 5 in his early big league career. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 1-1. He was 3 for 4 yesterday with a home run and a double. A home run and a double. And today, of course, he's got the single to add on to that. There's the pitch from Almonte. It is a fastball swung on. This ball's belted into right center field. Coming hard is Yastrzemski. Dives. He can't make the catch. It squirts away from him, and Outman is going to be aboard with a double. That is going to be another knock for the young hitter. Have a start to your career in the big leagues. You got to give him some props here because he was coming hard out of the gate. The right fielder, Yastrzemski, had to come a long way. He dove. It went off the heel of his glove. As he outstretched, he couldn't reach and couldn't hang on. The ball ended up bouncing away from him, and he's got himself a double. This is an unbelievable start for Outman. Outman was one of the players that there was talk about him being in the package for Soto. If the Dodgers were able to pull a trigger on a trade to get the star from the Washington Nats, and now Mookie Betts has asked for time. As Phil Cousy steps out and gives it to him. To see if there's any other information, but I don't have any other trade support at the moment. The Braves are busy making their little moves, and sometimes those little moves turn into big moves. And here's the pitch from Almonte. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's fouled straight back off the catcher, Bart. Count is 0-1 to Betts, and Cousy's going to walk out to the mound to give a baseball to the Right-hander Almonte as Bart drops to 2 knees. That's hard for the catchers there. That's the most difficult spot, getting foul tips right off the mask. Mike Matheny, the manager of the Royals, had to retire early in his career. That one got him flush. Foul ball right back. Turned him backwards. If you've never been hit by a foul tip in the mask, a 90-mile, you can get it at the right spot. It stiffens you up a bit or straightens you out a bit, I guess, as I would say it. There's a pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. And I can't tell you what the 95 to 100 mile an hour fastball fouled away would be like. I've never been hit by that, but 90 mile an hour fastballs, foul tips into the mask. Well, imagine the impact with another extra 5-6 miles to it. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2 to Betts. Definitely have to clean your nasal passages for sure. Our friend Mick says he was pretty good for the OKC Dodgers, being Josh Outman. So here comes the 1-2 offering as right-hander Marte checks the runner at second. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball at 99 that misses outside. The count's 2-2. You can kind of see why they like Junior Marte. He's got a lot of movement on that fastball. A lot of arm side run, a lot of action. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. He gets his signal from the catcher, Bart, and he now comes set. Checks the runner at second, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike. Mookie Betts watches that one go. It was going to be a strike just where he had received it. So Turner tonight, he's 1 for 3. He's got a homer. He's knocked in a couple of runs. He's got 75 now on the year. He's also made some sparkling plays at shortstop, which has made it look easy tonight. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. Trey Turner flashing the leather and swinging the stick. Life must be good to be Trey Turner these days. Every time I watch him, it's silky smooth at shortstop. The other shortstop with the speed that really impresses me is Tim Anderson of the White Sox, just how he can go to his left. There's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. I got a chance to see Anderson in Seattle and watch him take ground balls before the game and just how fast he moves. Incredibly quick. So here comes the 2-0 offering to Turner. Mark kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. Not sure that Turner necessarily agreed with Phil Cousy. The living room is in the house, and he says, when does the party start? Party starts at 2 a.m. Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern when we're going to be doing the Buffaloes and the Lions. But we're glad you could make it in here for the end of this one. And there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is now 2-2. The other party may have started in the locker room a couple innings ago for the Dodgers as they are sticking it to the Giants here. And here comes the 2-2 offering. So we'll put you down as a invited guest for 2 a.m. Pacific living room. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 3-2. And as Bart throws the ball back to the pitcher, Almonte, he drops the ball, or Marte, he drops the ball. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The runner at second is Outman. There's 1 gone here, and it's a full count to Turner. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and that is going to keep the count at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We will wrap it up after this one with the out-of-town scoreboard. As all the games are final. I don't know if our friend, the living room, saw the trade the Tigers made today. He's a Tiger connoisseur. Robbie Grossman is now an Atlanta Brave. He The Tigers got a tin can left-handed pitcher in return. There's a breaking ball swung on and foul. The count remains at 3-2. So in some ways, not necessarily the worst thing. It does look like we're going to have a new pitcher in the bottom of the ninth as Phil Bickford is getting loose in the bullpen. Come in and take over for David Price. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Marte gets the sign from his catcher, Bart, and he works set. And here comes the payoff pitch to Turner. He kicks and fires. It is a fastball that just misses inside. They appeal down to Mark Ripperger at first base, but they say Turner didn't go, and that is going to be a base on balls. That puts runners at first and second. It's going to bring up Freddie Freeman, who has got a couple of hits and an RBI tonight. Our friend in the living room says, Grossman, good luck. Yeah, well, Robbie Grossman had himself a really nice season last year, the 2020 player for the Tigers. Value pick for Detroit, too, by the way, where they gave him $10 million for 2 years. So really what they need in Atlanta is a Band-Aid because they've got a couple of injuries down there. There's a first pitch breaking ball that Freeman swings through on. The count is 0-1. Freeman tonight is 2 for 4. He's got the single, the double, a couple of runs scored, and an RBI. He waggles the bat. He's waiting on the offering here from Marte. And here he kicks it in. It's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-1. Mick says he'll throw something on Oryx tonight after my parlay hits after the game. I'm excited for that one. We'll get a couple-hour nap in on the in-between here. The quicker this game wraps up, the more Z's I can get in before I have to call that game. There's a fastball swung on. This is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. It's fielded by Yastrzemski. Rounding third and heading home is Outman. The throw goes into third, and sliding in safely is Turner. That's going to increase the lead here now to 8-2 as Outman crosses the plate. Another RBI here for Freeman. And that extends the lead now to 8-2 for the Dodgers. Our friend in the living room says that's pretty desperate. To get Robbie Grossman. Grossman will be productive. They don't necessarily need an outfielder. Obviously, Duvall's done for the year there. Ozuna has had some injury issues. You've got Acuna Jr. and Eddie Rosario in their outfield still. And Michael Harris has played a very good outfield. So really bringing Grossman in, he's just a rental and an insurance. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to third. They go to second for one, back to first. And Will Smith has just ended in a grounded into a inning-ending double play at 5-4-3 to finish off the ninth inning here. But they do get a run in the inning. There was 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now going to the bottom of the ninth inning. It is an 8-2 lead for the Dodgers. Our friend in the living room says that Atlanta is his new favorite blow-up team. I don't know what kind of blow-ups that you've been hanging around with their living room, but we'll be back in just a moment. We'll try to figure it out after this.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be another pitching change for the Dodgers as Phil Bickford is coming on in relief. It's not been a phenomenal year for the right-hander Bickford. He is appearing in his 39th ball game of the year. He has so far got a record of 1-1. He's worked 34 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 32 hits, 20 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 7 and struck out 34. He's got an ERA fluffed up at 5.19. The tall, lanky right-hander is in. I always have to do a double take when I see Bickford. He looks like him and Dustin May could be brothers, except Dustin May has the red flowing locks, whereas Bickford is the blondish flowing locks. So it will be David Villar. Well, it's supposed to be David Villar, but it's Tommy La Stella who's coming in to pinch hit for him. It's supposed to be Machado and Bart to follow. So a little surprised La Stella wasn't in the ball game tonight. He had a couple of hits yesterday against the Cubs, but he's coming on to get a pinch hitting appearance here against Bickford. And here comes the first offering. It is a fastball that missed. Oh, it catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. Kuzi with that 6-run lead must feel the need to get that right arm going up and move this one along a little quicker. Pitch looked like it was outside to me, but it is what it is. I'm not the one calling the balls and strikes, just reporting it. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. And there is a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats on the third base side. Now the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Living Room says baseball blow-up are normal this time of the year. Ask Steve about the other kind of blow-ups. Yes, absolutely. On his no-filter Fridays. So no balls and 2 strikes to Tommy La Stella. Bickford delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to La Stella. As we said, once this game is done, we'll give you the wrap on the out-of-town scoreboard and call it a night, and then get charged up and fired up for the 2 a.m. first pitch. Here's the pitch from Bickford. It is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. Just as a reminder, in that one there, it is going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the Buffaloes against Kona Takahashi for the Lions. Game is going to be exciting. Our friend says, blitzball tomorrow. Video coming soon. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, there we go. There's a young lad who got the ball, and he wanted to throw it back. So that was a foul ball that he had gotten. Looked like he was with his parents, and he decided that he was going to get rid of it. So there's a fastball swung on and lifted into left field. Camping out underneath it is Outman. And he makes the catch, and La Stella is gone for the first out of the inning. So it looks like they're going to – Usher's going to try to come and get the lad a new ball. So they got him back for him, but there it is. And then they were able to hold it up. They gave him the ball, and the next thing you know is the boy got it and wanted to throw it back on the field. And just like that, you can tell that he didn't. Now you can, as they got the camera on him, you can tell he feels bad. So that is going to bring up a pinch hitter here as Dix Machado's day is done. It's going to be Vossler in to hit, as he is going to be pinch hitting here. The first pitch is a fastball that misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Vossler is batting .292. Jason Vossler is. He's got 4 homers and 10 RBIs. He played in last night's game against the Cubs, so it looks like that Gabe Kapler is emptying the bench here. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field, but lots of room and space there for Mookie Betts. He makes the catch. That is going to retire Vossler. A fly ball to right field for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Joey Bart. So Bart steps to the plate, but we're not going to see him either. It's going to be Lamont Wade Jr., so hold tight. So Lamont Wade Jr. steps to the plate, who's hitting 183. Our friend, the living room, says he hopes he doesn't film the sky this time. That would be capital idea. And here's the first pitch from Bickford. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Wade Jr. has really struggled so far this year, batting .183 with 3 homers and 14 RBIs. He's played much better recently, but still off to that slow start. And there's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side, and the count is now 0-2. We're going to have to wait as the ball dude goes down the line to have to chase it down. There haven't been a lot of balls in the early part of the game that the ball dudes have been involved in, but he's able to give that to a young Dodger fan. It made his day. So not only are the Giants losing the game, but their fans are losing on the foul balls too. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's popped up. It's playable. On the third base side, coming in on it is the shortstop, Turner, who had to come all the way because he was in the shift, and he makes the catch as he's sliding. They had Muncy over to the right side, and that is going to do it here. That is going to be out number 3. Our friend Demon Slayer says he's got to run. Be back round 2. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment, as it is the final score here. The Dodgers have won 8-2 over the Giants. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Giants in their half of the 9th inning. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a few to wrap this baby up and give you all the out-of-town scoreboard. Here's our friend Dave again.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to give you guys the out-of-town scoreboard, and we'll call all the finals as all the games are done now. The Minnesota Twins walked off the Detroit Tigers in the bottom of the 10th inning tonight. It was a 5-3 ball game. The game went into the extra innings, tied at 2. And then the Tigers scored in the top of the 10th, and then it was 3 runs in the bottom by the Twins to win it. 5-12-0 for Minnesota, 3-5-1 for Detroit. Griffin Jacks gets the win. He's 5-2. Alex Lang takes the loss. He's 4-2. And your final 5-3 Minnesota. Cincinnati Reds went into Miami and beat the Marlins today 3-1. 3-8-0 for the Reds, 1-5-1 for the Marlins. Hunter Green got the win. He's 4-12. Jesus Luzardo, fresh off the injured list, takes the loss. He's 2-4. Hunter Strickland got his 7th save. The Washington Nationals at home dropped the game to the Mets 7-3, 7-13-1 for the Mets, 3-6-0 for the Nats. Max Scherzer got his 7th win against 2 losses. Patrick Corbin took the loss. He goes to 4-15 for the Nationals. New York Yankees are hosting the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners dropped the first one to the Yanks 7-2, 7-10-1 for the Yankees, 2-7-0 for the Mariners. Domingo Germán got the win. He goes to 1-1. Marco Gonzalez the loss. He's 6-11. Arizona Diamondbacks in 11 innings dropped to the Cleveland Guardians today 6-5. 6-5-1 for the Guardians, 5-9-0 for the D-backs. Hentges gets the win in relief for the Guardians. He is 3-2. Melanson loses his 10th game of the year. He drops to 3-10 for the D-backs. The Baltimore Orioles knocked off the Texas Rangers 7-2. Orioles go to a game above 500. They're 52-51, and they traded Trey Mancini today to the Houston Astros. 7-12-0 for the O's, a 2-7-1 for the Rangers. Watkins gets the win for the Orioles. He is now 4-1. John Gray takes the loss. He drops to 7-6. That was Aiken getting his 2nd save for the Orioles. Keegan Aiken is got his number 2 on the year. The Red Sox beat the Astros 3-2. 3-6-2 for the Red Sox. 2-5-0 for the Astros. They did make a trade before the game as Christian Vasquez, the catcher of the Red Sox, was sent over to the Astros. It was Nathan Eovaldi getting the win. He's 5-3. Luis Garcia took the loss. He goes to 8-7. Tanner Houck gets his 7th save of the year. The Kansas City Royals knocked off the Chicago White Sox 2-1. Lynch got the win today. He goes to 4-7. Michael Kopech takes the loss. He's 4-7. Scott Barlow got his 17th save. 2-6-0 for the Royals, 1-10-0 for the White Sox. The other game that was going on during this one, it was the Padres knocking off the Rockies 4-1, 4-6-0 for San Diego, 1-7-0 for the Rocks. Clevenger got the win. Senzatella takes the loss. Garcia got the save, his second of the year. And your final score in this one was the Dodgers 8, the Giants 2. 8-11-0 for the Dodgers, 2-5-0 for the Giants. Caleb Ferguson gets the win in relief. He's 1-0. It was Logan Webb taking the loss. He drops to 9-5. Again, your final, the Dodgers 8, the Giants 2. All right, everybody, we're going to wrap this one up. We're going to be back on a little bit later this evening as we are going to be calling the game between the Oryx Buffaloes and the Saitama Cebu Lions. We appreciate everybody who did check it in. I will go and look for the Mr. Ed video for our friend The Living Room has sent me. We appreciate you guys in here tonight. Once again, it's been another Last Rounds Baseball video production. We hope you all have a great night. Come on back and see us again in a few hours as we're going to do the Japanese baseball from Osaka. Have a great night, everybody.